hello, and welcome to our very new, our very bougie setup here at the Rag Company podcast studio. It's been a bit of a work in progress, and don't worry, Levi will be here soon. But in the meantime, while he runs and takes a little momentary break, we'll call it, I was just going to give you a chance to take a peek at what we've done here. So this was kind of my vision of what we could do to kind of spice things up around here, make it a little more interesting, a little more chill, but at the same time, very inviting in kind of a lush way. So we've got plants around here. We've got our wood paneling still as you remember it. And we've got some pretty dope wallpaper, if I do say so myself. My dad and I installed that. And then, of course, all this incredible lighting. Big thanks to Glenn and Nick behind the wall, who really helped set all this stuff up. I kind of picked out the chairs and other stuff and assembled things. So it's been a team effort all the way around. And, of course, here comes Levi sitting into his chair, wide shot. There you go. Now you can kind of see what's going on over there. Really, you have to understand, if you've ever visited the Rag Company podcast studio, you would know this room is incredibly tiny.
It's very tiny.
It's not a big space. So you're really operating with super limited square footage. I would say maybe, I don't know, like 150 square feet?
It's probably about
100 square feet?
8 by 13. So
yeah, okay,
maybe by 15. It's a little bigger, but it's still just under about 100 square feet.
But what is hard to see, I mean, you can kind of tell behind me, the wall is angled.
Yeah.
So while the floor area is fairly large,
square footage,
you lose about 2 to 3 feet moving inward at the ceiling. So everything kind of pushes you forward. You're kind of forced to come over this way, which is obviously a very exciting way to go.
You can see it in that picture.
Yeah, no, you can absolutely see the setup there. The wide, just everything it's laid out. But this is set up to comfortably accommodate 4 people at a time. If we have more people than that, we made a hard rule. We're just going to go out into the big studio. That's just going to be the way it has to be.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to make for kind of more intimate conversations. You're going to feel more comfortable. It's like you're hanging out in a fancy living room or like a cool hotel lobby kind of feel. Even our chairs have an underglow, which I thought Anthony would appreciate as like a Civic fanboy at heart.
And what's fun is we may be able to, when we get ready to tell maybe a story, and we talk about, the three black Civics with green underglow, we can change the lights to green.
We can actually give our chairs green underglow. So it's a pretty fun setup, and I'm super excited to share it with you all.
I'm amazed. I'm proud of you, Dane, for what your vision was.
I got a lot of guff.
I'm really proud of Glenn and Nick.
Yes, they did an amazing job
putting all this together and getting all this built. It's been a ton of work, you guys, and the two of them have been in this building. And then Dane, all the late nights with you and your dad getting all the walls. I mean, you guys have done a great job. So Anthony and I have just stood in the corner and watched and been like, cool.
That's good. Okay, though, because at a certain point you feel like maybe I'd get in the way if I tried to help or something. Yeah, but I get it.
You guys have done a great job. So very proud of you. Very proud of all of you.
Seriously, we're very excited about it. If you're new here and you're like, I don't understand what the big deal is. It looks cool and all, but I don't have a base reference. That's cool. You're new. We're excited to have you here. Which, by the way, if you are new, please consider hitting like on this video and subscribing. I want to get you off started early because if you're here to ask detailing questions, that's really what it's all about, then you've come to the right place. You really should just hit that button because already, you're going to have a good time. We have fun. We know how to answer these things. At the same time, we don't take ourselves that seriously. I like to think we have a little bit of a lighter side to it. And Anthony, you probably noticed if you're used to seeing 3 of us, Anthony, his back still isn't treating him well.
He couldn't sit for this long. He actually had to take
These chairs are super comfy.
So for those wondering, he is dealing with this back issue pretty bad. He has had some work done, but it's still not back to his back's not to normal the way he wants it.
A little bit.
And so he's still laying prone on the couch when he comes into the office and lays down on the couch.
Everybody walks in, they just see it, or they walk right past and don't even notice he's there. And then a disembodied voice says, "Hey, whoa."
So he's doing his best. So he sends his condolences here to let you all know that he wishes he could be here, but he's just on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, he's not that far.
We should have wired up a camera for him over there.
Yeah, the couch cam. It would just look very sad.
Yeah, we could have gotten one of these up there. But.
Sure, why not? Apart from that, we do have some stuff going on. Maybe some stuff.
Currently, we are in the middle of a sale, Memorial Day sale. If you haven't gone over to the website yet, you totally can. We got 20% off almost everything in the store. including it's up to 65% off on some doorbusters. We know how much you guys like them. Also, the biggest thing is the GovX integration, meaning for those of you that are in the military or first responder, you can go to govx.com.
Yes.
Fill out your information, and then you will get your own unique 10% off code as well that you could use 365 days a year.
Heck yeah.
Within the rag company. So you'll be given your own code through GovX. And so just another way we're trying to give back and help those that help us. So
it's the right thing to do.
A lot of great stuff. And then also our Memorial Day sticker, a new design for sale. And all the proceeds of the stickers are going to the Gary Sinise Foundation like we did last year. Again, stickers for a cause. So all the proceeds will be going to the Gary Sinise Foundation. And we are proud to be able to give back. So please pick up a sticker as well. You know, normally we throw a sticker in for free for the sales. This one though is it's special. It's a donation. So please add that sticker to your cart. And then know that 100% of the proceeds are going to go help our veterans and first responders and the families of those. So
excellent. Well, yeah, we wanted to make sure we touched on that because obviously if you haven't been to the Rag Company site in a minute, that's going to be something new you notice. But how do people find out? Like, if they're just
when
curious,
we got sales and
new stuff that pops
up. Oh my
gosh,
gosh, Dane!
I mean, social media is one thing. But
let me
what
bring
about
that up.
An older school social media that I think a lot of people could still get down with?
Well, that's simple. That's easy. Just go to the website, ragcompany.com, scroll to the bottom, and sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't already, just put in your little email address in there, and not only for signing up, we'll give you a 15% off coupon on your next order.
Oh, heck yeah.
But you'll then get to see anytime we release a new video, anytime we have a sale, or there is a new product drop. You will be notified of that. And so that's the best way to get to know. And if you have signed up, but you haven't seen an email from us, go check your spam folder. Make sure it's not in there. Make sure we are your trusted sender.
I will say, most people I've talked to haven't had that issue, which is good. Obviously, you don't want to end up in the spam folder. But every once in a while, you get somebody who's like, I signed up, I don't know what happened. It's like, well, check it. It's a simple, quick thing you do. It takes 2 seconds. And, you may find a bunch of other stuff you didn't actually mean to filter that way either. So it doesn't hurt to check once in a while, really. Apart from that, man, we got some comments. We got some good stuff to get into today. So if you don't mind, I can go ahead and get started.
Let's rock and roll, Dane. Let's get this party started.
All right, bringing it up. I've got Hans here. Hello, hello, hello. I will be joining later. I first have an IDA Health and Wellness Zoom meeting. Do you know something about that?
Yeah, that's a new group. So that is a new, or not group, but new committee that we've created within the IDA.
Excellent.
And so that is a new one that is looking into any health and wellness services or things that we can then teach and help within the detailing basically community. And so that way, if you're an IDA member, it's another reason to, be able to find some folks that if you're looking to help and give back, it can be a very monotonous job. It can be a very unsung job.
It can be a very isolated activity.
It can be a very isolated
activity. If you don't have like employees or coworkers or that kind of thing, if you're just doing it yourself, wherever you are, I get how that can be kind of a lonely experience over time.
And so for a lot of folks, it's about how to deal with that, but also maybe how to best handle stress, handle physical things. It's learning how to be more ergonomic with the way you work. It's everything that has to do with the ultimate detailing tool, your body.
Yeah, so, you only get one of those.
That's the goal of that committee. And so Hans is on the committee there as well. It's very, very cool. It's a new committee that was started this year.
Excellent.
It's now full.
Good job, Hans.
Hans, wondering if there will be a Christmas tree and massage chairs in the new studio.
Chairs,
close,
but no.
We got some
chairs.
plans.
Yeah, we got plans.
Fun fact: we actually threw the Christmas tree away.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
2 weeks before Dane went and bought all these plants. We could have easily incorporated the Christmas tree in this new foliage
I'm not
setup.
sure it would have matched the vibe I was going for, but
it doesn't matter.
I
It would have looked pretty cool, I think.
What I will say, as far as the decor goes in this room, is our walls are bare right now, and that's not going to stay that way forever. We will decorate them.
You're going to see some of the old lore.
Yeah, we'll bring back old stuff.
We got the Pepsi clock. We got the Anthony picture.
Obviously.
We've got some other items. We got to go through our box of tricks of stuff that we've collected over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game plan going forward, Dane, like you said,
it'll get dressed up over time.
Yeah.
But to start with, I wanted it to really be a clean slate so that we could just kind of look at it with fresh eyes and figure out how everything kind of fits into the new whole. All right, so let me get to more of these questions here. I've got Frost. Let's see what Frost 732 says.
Salutations, good brothers. Presently, I'm using Clean Maker as a topper for Diamond Body 36. Is there any other topper that plays well with Diamond Body in the Arizona heat? Hoping you're feeling better, Anthony. Well, really, the ultimate one is Quick Body. That is the number one topper for that. However, you don't need to add a topper. So what you're using right now, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple enough. I got Spencer B here.
Hey, everyone. It's from Spencer B. Greetings from cloudy, cold Seattle. Hope everyone is having a good Friday Eve. Hope Anthony's feeling better. Better hang in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Is
Anthony,
feeling better. Hang in there. There you go.
What he explained specifically, just so you understand, like, he's capable of standing and walking and moving around. But what he says is when there's something pushing into that kind of like arch of his back, that's when it just goes insane. It hurts like crazy. He can't stand it. So basically, it's a very specific way of sitting. And unfortunately, any normal chair like this is going to do it. Even these comfy ones.
Well, he slouches. He like slides down in the chair.
He needs to
so
like totally, slouch or just lay flat on his back is what he really said helps.
Yeah. He said he had to take a break from driving to work.
Which,
he had to pull over so he could stretch out his back and lay down.
That's rough. That's really
rough.
And
he lives, I mean, we're pretty much the same distance.
Yeah.
On either ends
Different
of the
directions, but same distance.
And so that would be like me stopping like near the library or Amorson Park to stop and just stretch out and like lay down my back to try and get it to pop or like release the pressure.
Yeah.
Just so I could get back in, compress it, and drive to work. Like,
but I mean, hey, debilitating is debilitating. If it gets you, it gets you. So.
You know, I had some, my ankle was hurting. My leg was asleep. Remember yesterday? I was telling you, I was like, I feel like I can't wake up. It was my ankle. It was just the pain. It just flared up. I think it was because of the storm yesterday.
Yeah, we had some weird pressure front changes going on. So if it was going to happen, that makes sense then.
So,
yeah. And then Spencer follows up here. What's your opinion on KCX's COO2 coating? I feel like this coating hasn't gotten a whole lot of hype, and I'm curious if you have experience with it. Underrated product or a dud?
So it's I'm not going to say I have experience with it, but I know a lot about it. Okay. It is a low. How am I trying to make the word? It's a coating that only lasts about a year. It can last up to 2 years with the proper work and all that kind of stuff. But it is technically a 1 year coating, and KCX has stated that it is it is only to be sold as a 1 year, and it's a very strong protection, but it has its limitations. Now, they are working on a new version, and I do have that version, and I am testing that version. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, it's a good coating for someone who's looking to add a 1 year coating. It's a very simple, traditional, easy to install ceramic coating. But it is a low life coating. Not low life. I guess it's like compared to other coatings on the market.
Don't call it a low life.
Not a low. Like I'm trying to think of the word, but it's basically like it's a 1 year coating.
Right. Well, here I'll cut through and just like layman speak. I would say it's a good coating if your main priority isn't necessarily longevity. If you're looking for other qualities, it can give you those qualities.
Yeah.
Think of it more like I don't want to sell it short by saying think of it like a sealant, but at the same time, you're you're looking at something that is truly a coating, but when it comes to the way they approach these things, especially when it comes to coatings, stronger chemicals, that kind of thing, they are a little more cautious with how they approach
and that's what
this
it
stuff.
is.
And the
So-
results mean you're not necessarily going to get the most hardcore, insane thing out there, because
Right.
there's lots of other people like pushing the envelope, how far they can push it. But in this case, this is not that.
Realistically, one thing that KCX does do is they want to be very conservative with their lifespan of their products.
Yeah.
And so they're telling you it's only a year. It may last longer based on how well you care for it. But what they're looking at is giving it to a person who is going to run it through a car wash every week. It's going to live outside. It's going to take all the abuse.
Well, and all the YouTube detailers will come out with their like crazy schemes to throw acid on a car panel and be like, that thing died.
Yeah. And so for
Immediately.
them, they're looking at it going, look, if you destroy this coating, it's going to last a year.
Yeah.
So that's what it's rated at.
Yeah.
But if you care for it and you utilize all of our other products with it in the product line to care for it and maintenance it and wash it, make sure it's clean, it can last longer. But they are very much saying this is a 1-year coating, and they don't want to tout that it's any higher like other companies like this is a 3 years, a 5 year, 7. We don't know. It may be a 3 or 5 year coating packaged in a 1 year package.
And that's kind of the difficult thing about all this is when it comes to like thinking of everything as being standardized, especially when it comes to detailing. That's really not the case as much as people try and, I want to try and treat all these things as if they're all using words as if they mean the same thing, when really a company that's more conservative like that, or like in the car world, there's Porsche, who may say a horsepower number that seems underwhelming compared to other manufacturers in their league. However, when people actually go out and test them, they find they always seem to outperform what the numbers suggest, which is one of those things that catches people off guard. And maybe it's a German thing. It's just there's a conservative element at play there that just, it's from the top down.
That's why you haven't seen a lot of hype, because it is very under the radar.
Yeah,
because a lot of people
nobody's screaming crazy numbers.
And nobody's looking at it to go, oh my gosh, it's the next rival for this product or this product or this product. It's another coating, and could quite possibly be one of the best, but it is stated as this for a reason. And kudos to KCX for literally saying hey, this is our coating. That's a good coating. But I will say the new variant that I've been playing with, pretty nice.
You like it?
So
okay. Well, that definitely gets us off on the right foot there. Let me see what else I've got here.
But there's no timeline on the new variant, just so you know.
Right. Okay. So no expectations on any time period.
No, if you're looking to pick up their coating, pick it up right now.
Okay.
First from Puerto Rico, I hope Anthony's doing well today.
And hello, TRC team.
Hello.
All right. Then Hans here. Okay. Let's go. The meeting is done. Go.
There we go. Welcome back, Hans.
Well, glad to have you here. Oh, okay. Levi, you got this.
Dan Pfeiffer with a good afternoon and a word up from Minnesota, USA. Happy Friday Eve, TRC gang.
Wouldn't be a show without Dan Pfeiffer hopping in and letting us know with his word ups.
If they don't blow this all up over all the soda, made sure it wasn't shooken up.
David, I'm last from Kalamazoo. Thank you for being the counter to first from Puerto Rico.
Thank you, David.
We really appreciate that. And everybody saying hey to each other. And then we've got Alex Dewar here saying, new studio is bussin'. Thank you.
I predict Alex will live in this studio next year.
Once he actually gets a chance to see in person.
I think he's going to just stay here.
Yeah.
He's like, don't put me up at the Home to Suites. I'm going to push 2 of these chairs together and I'll be good to go.
Like, truth be told, the way it feels in person versus the way it comes off on camera, it actually looks pretty bright on camera, but, I mean, you can bring this stuff down and make
very
it really
dark in
moody
here
and vibey. So it's warm despite everything looking cool. The light on us is warm, so it's just kind of a fun contrast. I vastly prefer this to the old setup.
It's quite nice. Very nice.
But then again, I also kind of designed it.
So we're going to watch movies in here tomorrow, or what's going on?
I mean, we could. The big screen over there. Yeah, could be a good time. Quality touch here with the Hey Yo. Thank you for joining us. And Alex G popping in with the What's Up, everyone.
What's up, Alex?
Oh, Glossy Bear.
What's up, everybody? Excited to catch a live and peep the new studio.
Yes.
Thank you, Gloss. Why don't we get some shots of the studio so people can see that have just tuned in?
Right,
the
at
last
the very
20 minutes
beginning we
here.
showed it, but we can show
Little
again
new
if
studio
those cameras
action.
are capturing the
Pop
wider...
some, at least some wide shots, just so
Yeah,
everybody
sure.
can kind of
Why
see
not?
what we're doing here.
Show them what we're up
Ah,
to.
very nice. Look, here's this side.
Yeah, a good opportunity
Again,
for
a
wall
lot of
art.
blank walls.
We have the blanks. That's why we
Yep.
each get our own camera tightly focused, because the rest of it is going to grow up over
Yeah,
time.
we've added 4 cameras in here.
Yes.
Look at Dane's side.
Yeah. So,
See?
I don't know. I really love these chairs, though, but it might
Yeah,
just
they're nice.
be me.
They're great.
But, and I like having this mic set up like this, too. I just have to not bump it when I'm holding
Mm-hmm.
the iPad. That's kind of a new thing I got to deal with. All right, Keith. You want to get Keith?
Just ordered a bunch of goodies from the site, patiently awaiting its arrival. Very
we
nice.
shouldn't have
Keith.
to wait too long. Our shipping is pretty quick.
Yeah. So I started the Fall Guy last night.
Oh, the movie. Yeah.
Great stuff.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah. So far, really enjoying it. Halfway through, really enjoying it.
My mom absolutely loved
Yeah.
it.
Carly and I are like, this is great. It's perfect. To the point that this morning we started telling the kids, you guys are going to love this movie. So, yeah, good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it.
And then a fun little
Or-
cameo at the end.
Or rent it.
Yeah. I mean, whatever works for you. All right. I got Brett G here.
Hey, Brett Gates, happy Friday Eve. What products would you recommend for cleaning and protecting convertible tops? Brett,
Bring it.
Rag Top. Now, I don't know if we have any more, so you're going to have to come by and see.
Uh-oh.
But Rag Top makes products specifically for convertible tops. That's what they've been doing. And the reason Rag Top is so good, and if you have a Jeep, it's called Soft Top. Rag Top is, and it's 2 G's, 2 P's. Rag Top is the waterproofing manufacturer for Hearts. And Hearts is the manufacturer of all convertible tops in the world. So when you buy
all of them,
all of them,
holy cow.
they supply the fabric for convertible tops. So Porsche, BMW, Mercedes, Chevrolet.
Surely there's
Ford,
like some indie manufacturers out there.
No, Dane, there's only one
None?
manufacturer that makes convertible top material.
Okay, specifically the textile, the material.
Correct.
For soft tops.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called Hearts. And they make the material, and then they add a waterproofer to it, and then they send it to Mazda in Japan, and Mazda makes their soft top covers out of that.
Okay.
And then they have it already waterproofed. Well, it came from Ragtop based out of Georgia.
That's pretty cool.
That's where the waterproofer is. And then so Ragtop makes a waterproofing agent that's OEM spec
Yeah.
for that. It's a great product. It's a very niche product, which is why I don't think we have anymore, because it was
Right.
it was a slow seller because
Yeah.
it's just a very niche product. But
You're either catering directly to that audience or not.
But the owner is Spencer Goldstein,
Mm-hmm.
and he is an amazing, or Goldstein, and he is an amazing person, really cool guy. His dad started the company. He's running the company now. A fine Southern gentleman.
Fine Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
All
right. Reach out to Ragtop and pick that up if you're looking.
If nothing else, they really know their stuff. That much is absolutely
Yeah.
true.
Alex with a new lead up music gives me Dothraki Pleasure Tent vibes.
Oh boy.
Well, some of these plants came from the Dothraki, the forlorn Dothraki Pleasure
They had
plant.
to be grown somewhere.
Yep.
I mean, fake plants need to be grown
Yep.
too.
That's where we got them. And then David Boyce with a doer in Canada.
Yep.
Joey Belinsky with the new studio. Let's go.
Glad you're here. And then we got more laid back.
G with the laid back. Everybody enjoying it. Just chilling.
Hans. Not seeing the hen and Christmas tree.
Yep.
I've seen those plants somewhere before.
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
from Dane's house.
Yeah, well, they had to come from
Yeah.
somewhere, like I said.
Alex saying the room's cozy. Thank you, man.
Are the chairs from the Scandinavian outlet?
Yes.
I mean, they could be.
He was
They
looking.
could be.
He did check his friends at Scandinavian Outlet first.
I know.
To
I
see,
do
but-
love me some Scandi furniture.
But
It's
no,
not a
they didn't
secret.
come from there.
They didn't, though. It did do a lot of research, though, before getting these. They're very deep. They create your own little personal bubble. It's like a little bumper car we get to sit in. Pedro, why don't you get this label?
The Memorial Day limited edition sticker is awesome, and glad to see that all proceeds are going to the great foundation, my brothers in arms. that made the ultimate sacrifice. Salute the entire TRC crew. Thank you, Pedro. We appreciate it. Thank you for your service.
And thank you, yes, to all our vets out there. Much appreciated. Alex, go ahead. You go.
Love Tuesdays and Thursdays even more. Great job, guys. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you tuning in, man.
Yeah. All right, bunch of hellos. New Q&A is possible by IKEA. Nothing in here is from IKEA.
It'd be a lot cooler if it was all IKEA. I'll tell you that, Hans. As an IKEA fan, I love all types of IKEA furniture.
It's just nothing in here.
We don't have one near. It's like 5 hours away at Salt Lake.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
So,
all right, new studio, nice work. Thank you, Howie. It was a lot of hard work, and the guys all killed it. Let's see. We've got new and subbed from KC. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for actually hitting that sub button. That means a lot. Carson Black with the ooh looks good.
Thanks, Carson.
Yes, thank you. And Ricardo with the what's up, everyone. Thank you, Ricardo. David.
Damn, Dane, your hair is fly. No. It's like you detailed it and ceramic coated it because it's glossy in those lights and a nice auburn sheen. Look at that. It does have a bit of red in it.
I throw a little. It is
that Irish auburn, in you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the Irish sneaking out.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Shout out to Anthony for still coming in every day. Back pain ain't fun. I mean, he's trying. He's showing up when he can.
He said he gets more rest here at work than he does at home.
I mean, he does have a young child and pets, so I get how that's possible, but oof.
Well, I think it's because he gets to lay on a couch all day.
Well, that's true, yeah. And
he's working on his phone.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of his work can be done from his phone, so it is. Mm-hmm. But no, it's funny to see. Well, I mean, it's not funny to have back pain, obviously, but you get what I'm saying. Vincent Alessio, hello, everyone. Welcome,
hey,
welcome. And let's see here. Hans, Tony needs a stainless back. Send some nuts and bolts.
That's right.
We're going to Frankenstein him up. We'll rat rot him.
There you
go. Let's see. Oh, Hans, as usual, looking for some freebies.
Can you send me a few stickers with the order I placed and send the invoice for the order and 4 stickers? Hans, you got to reach out to the boys in customer service for that.
That's not our domain anymore.
Store or email support at the rag company and talk to Lucas or Aaron. They're the ones that would handle that for you.
They'll do what they can. Obviously, there are limits to that. Actually, in your particular case,
it's just Aaron.
Yeah,
Lucas is on vacation with his dad. They're
Lucas is on like a cruise ship.
They're on a cruise.
Now.
Yeah, the two
look like they're having fun. But no, I'm glad they're getting out and having some fun.
Yep.
Yeah, Hans, go ahead and talk to them though. They should be able to do something for you there. Glossy Bear.
I'm getting next day deliveries from TRC to Western Nevada these days. Nice. Comes in clutch when running a business. That's awesome.
Heck yeah. No,
congrats, man.
Sweet.
Now, I will say, currently during this sale, that may not actually be the case because it is over a weekend. And
yes,
if it's a big sale,
it tends to be a lot of orders
harder to get the orders done
in a shorter period of time. It gets a little crowded.
Yeah.
So,
But during the week, not a sale, 100%.
Normal weeks, though, it's going to be pretty dang quick.
That is really good.
Demo, killing me, man. Nice toupee, dude. That's just how my hair is. Okay, this just really emphasizes it. I don't know what to tell you, man. It's all there.
Hey, at least you got a haircut.
It is what it is. I got a haircut with buzz the sides. But
who would have thought that your hair would have been this big and on stage?
I've just been growing out the middle.
It's become another
to do like
guest.
An undercut thing. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to make a statement with like a pompadour here or anything. It's just it's working its way out.
Luxurious, that's what it is.
It is very lush.
Yeah,
I will say.
This makes me look even more bald.
Well, yeah. Sorry, the lights.
Look at the male pattern baldness.
These lights take no prisoners.
We'll have to shaving my head if I don't wear a hat.
We'll have to work on
fully bick it.
Seeing how low we can get these lights without the cameras freaking out, because the cameras don't like it after.
Yeah, because all this hair right here on this front is blonde and white because of gray hair.
I mean, yeah,
but it makes it look like it's gone all the way back to here or whatever.
You know, the rule is as soon as you end up with a toilet seat on top of your head, it's time to go. Just get rid of it.
Right, mine had hair. I had hair like you, but it had gotten so light in the front.
I remember it used to
that it would look like that, and I was like, I am not that bald. And I'd come out and I'd look and be like, no. So I finally just got rid of it.
Let's see. Where am I at? I am at Page 5. Okay, here we go. We got Vincent. What's Vincent saying?
I typically use a rinseless wash as my contact wash on my coated car. I love using the Gauntlet 12 by 12s to dry. What's a good way to use my Eagle 500s? They seem to not get a ton of use.
Okay.
So this is something that you got to think about.
Yeah.
The Eagle 500 is good for a lot of things, but realistically where it shines the most is removing a light polish, removing any smudges on the painted surface. So as a final step towel, it's a great towel for that. So you could dry your car. You're using those 1212s to dry. Maybe you're using a drying aid. That's what you're going to use the Eagle 500s
Yeah.
for. Maybe a little Dream Maker. Maybe, not even a drying aid because you've already dried it. So now you're just adding a glossifier in Dream Maker. Because it's not a drying aid, ladies and gentlemen. We saw so many posts about people complaining about it, saying, oh my gosh, Dream Maker is not a drying aid. No, you're right, it's not. Stop using it that way. So I would use an Eagle 500. I use some Dream Maker. If I needed it to be a drying aid, I would use Bead Maker. I would use Glatt. I would use Mata, or not Mata, but Parla from Stiarna Gloss.
Yeah.
Maybe some SOO2.
I think
something like that.
In fairness to the whole Dream Maker conversation there, I think part of the confusion stems back from the fact that it tends to be like a last step product. It's one of those things that Anthony's talked about before, like, oh, this is that last thing I use, when I'm really trying to make my car pop for a car show, something like that. That's what it's for. It makes sense. But that also kind of ties into, if you've done a rinseless wash and you're just looking to do like a rinse aid type thing, people then get in their head, well, it's a liquid, you spray it, and it's the last thing you do. So, yeah, just use that. And I think that's where some of the confusion comes in, is people are just like, well, it's the last thing touching it, so I would use that as my drying aid. When it just chemically, it's not necessarily for that purpose.
No, and that's just.
But I get why people might think that. That's all I'm saying.
But if you're looking for a true drying aid, Glatt is a drying aid. You spray it on the car, you spray it off. It changes the hydrophobics, makes it easier to dry.
That's what we did with Bead Maker forever, too.
OptiSeal is still the OG drying aid.
OptiSeal's been around a long time.
And it's got a new formula.
It's a great product. But, yeah, I know there's tons of options out there. So just because we didn't mention your particular favorite one, there are tons out there. So if there's something you like, tell us in the comments what you think you'd like to use for that purpose. And
I just use your Eagles and pick a whatever topping you want.
Yeah.
And then Keith C, that 15% off coupon came in clutch on my recent order. There you go. Thanks, Keith.
Love that.
Glad you used it. Thank you for signing up.
Here's a good one.
Randall Gerlander.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between rinseless washes like DIY versus O&R? I hear that some have more surfactants than others, and I'm confused. It's the chemistry, basically. So the DIY one cleans a lot, but it doesn't have the same slickness and lubrication that O&R has, I feel. That's me. I know Anthony feels the same.
Will treat your opinion as if you're speaking a fact or a law, and it's like personal preference dictates a lot here. So just understand, just because one of these guys says that that's their preference, doesn't mean you have to come in guns ablaze and all upset. Like, that's not.
And for those
what
wondering,
for.
The reason we carry O&R, Absolute, and our RW is because those three are vetted and tested by Anthony and I. And we feel it hits all the marks requiring or that are required of a rinseless wash.
Yeah.
Now, yes, there are a number of other manufacturers out there. There's a lot of great rinseless washes out there. We've tested all of them, but not every one of them hits those marks that Anthony and I have set forth. And ours all set that. And we really like those. So that's a huge thing for us.
To Randall's question here, without necessarily getting into like specific brand versus brand kind of stuff, though, I and you, we're all well aware that some rinselesses, rinseless is just explaining the the function of the product, it doesn't mean that it's going to have the same chemistry as another type of rinseless, even though people may assume there's a lot of similarities between them. There are big differences when it comes to like the core constituent, chemicals, the materials that make up the rinseless wash, and you can see it in the way that the final product comes out with, like how bubbly or foamy it kind of comes out versus others where they don't have any of that, where like actively kill suds, that kind of stuff. It's a different animal, and I have found, just without being super technical about it, I'll just say some feel more like soap that turned into rinseless, and others feel like not soap.
Well, if you think about it, Pearl
O&R is an example of a not soap feeling one, which is kind of the baseline for what you would expect from a rinseless and what you tend to like.
Well, PNS Pearl can be used at 256 to 1 dilution and be used as a rinseless wash on coated vehicles. But it is a very different rinseless feeling when you're washing. And it's not that it's not good, it works. And there's a lot of brands out there that will work in that pinch. So the differences are pretty much what you feel you enjoy. Like what do you want to look at? Like if Dane might use the DIY rinseless and go, I like this, it works. It ticks all my boxes.
Or like a McKee's or something like that.
Or McKee's N914. It may tick all your boxes. Mm-hmm. It doesn't tick my boxes.
No, because
I'm using it for something totally different, and I'm still washing my car, but I'm looking at different things that I want it to hit.
If all I'm trying to do is rinseless wash a vehicle, then all of those rinseless wash products at a base level, obviously, should be able to rinseless wash the vehicle I'm working on. However, where things start to change is, what other things can you do with that rinseless wash? What positives or what limitations are there? How far can you take that product before it starts to run into barriers, have issues, or cause unforeseen circumstances, maybe as a result of the underlying chemistry that went into it? And, for being a versatile product, it may not have originally been designed for the things that people are trying to make them do, because they think, well, I had a different rinseless that did this, so how come this new one I'm trying doesn't do the same thing?
Yeah.
You've run into that, and I think that has a lot to do with why you and Anthony tend to prefer the same kind of rinselesses, and why you have maybe not a negative opinion, but it just doesn't appeal to you with some of those other rinselesses out there that people constantly love to just harp on and think that you guys are somehow absolutely wrong, or you're being prejudiced or somehow against other rinselesses, when the fact is you've tried them and your experience, you did not get out of it what you were looking for, while someone else did, and they're happy and they talk about how great it is. It's just why I get frustrated with reviews online in general, is where people will be like, this product is fantastic, but it's up to you as a viewer to determine, looking at that review, well, I don't know this person from Adam. I don't know what kinds of things that they're interested in that led them to think that this product is the absolute best, because someone else's best could be completely different, because
100%.
Your preferences could be vastly different than that person's.
Agreed.
And that's why I get really frustrated seeing all these different personalities and detailing YouTube, where it's like somebody claims something's the best and something else sucks, when I know for a fact, just having seen it, that product they said sucks actually works great and you guys enjoy it, yet people will say, oh, you're behind the times, or you're not, hip, or whatever. You're not getting what the newest, latest technology is, when the reality is you're trying to clean cars. We're not solving world peace here. We're just trying to make a clean car.
Like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't, there aren't a lot of differences between those. It's really going to depend on what you like. And the reason I like O&R is it's the grandfather of all rinseless. And it is on its 5th or 6th revision. And Dr. G has knocked it out of the park on every single one of those. And if you take it at the face value of going, this is what rinseless is supposed to be, and then you compare from there, you look at all the things that O&R can do, and then you go, this one misses all the, hits 4 out of 5, right? Or hits 5 out of 5. Cool. Well, that's a good one, right? And there's a lot of rinselesses that are like that. They're just personal. It goes right back down to personal preference. At the end of the day, did you get your car cleaned? Did you have fun doing it?
There you go.
Sweet. That's all that matters. The haters that complain and talk crap about each other's
people
products.
Just get invested in
people
it,
love
right?
to watch that because they want to get in on it, but it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't make anything better or worse.
No, it's like, okay, don't buy that product.
It's just drama for the
if
sake
you
of
don't
drama.
like it, don't buy it. But you don't have to try and talk everything down about it. Just don't buy it. Find a product that you like. And so I'll tell you, I think the DIY Rinseless is a good product. I had some. I used it. It's okay. Like, it works. But what is better? What do I choose? Always O&R, Absolute, and now that new RRW.
You like
because
the things you like.
Those three hit exactly what I want and what I need.
And if another
Plain and
new
simple.
product came along that did the things you like in an even more refined way, maybe it's faster at it, maybe it just has something about the way it feels afterwards that blows the things you were used to out of the water, then you would say that.
Agreed.
You would be open to that.
And I use all three indiscriminately.
Yeah.
I'll make up a bottle of a bucket of O&R one weekend, dump it out. Next weekend, I'm making a bucket of Absolute. I dump it out. Next weekend, I'm making a bucket of RRW. I use them it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
I'm going to use a Rinseless Wash, and I'm going to use the Rinseless Wash that I like.
Well, the funniest thing about this whole like tangent that we've gone down here is that there's still a massive collection of people out there who don't like Rinseless to begin with. The whole concept is foreign to them.
Yeah,
even in this day and age,
people.
there are people who are just like, I don't like this newfangled Rinseless thing. I don't understand. And there are people who think that somehow it's worse for your car's finish than soap is, and they're like, Rinseless is like a last resort. I would never touch it. Whereas for a lot of people that we know, Rinseless is like the first thing you go for, not the last thing. It's the thing you use almost every single time you can to wash a car if it's your money on the line or if it's something that you're just doing for yourself because you're not trying to show off to anybody. You just want to get the job done and do it well and not hurt the car in the process.
100%.
It's just so funny because no matter what you do, there's always going to be a critic.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I will also say rinseless washing is a skill set.
Oh, absolutely.
It's identical to polishing a car. You have to learn it. If you're you call yourself a detailer, you need to learn how to rinseless wash a car. Because of the sheer fact, you may run into a situation in your life where you do not have water, or you have a very limited amount of water, and you need to get that car clean. Yeah. And if you don't have the skill set to wash a car with rinseless, I don't believe you should call yourself a detailer. Plain and simple.
Bold words.
It's the same thing as running a business and going, "Oh, I don't polish cars. I've never polished cars." Okay. So how do you provide full service detailing? Well, we just tell people we don't polish, but we'll coat, we'll do some other stuff. Really? Like that's part of becoming a detailer.
Really scuffed up.
Well, it's like the people that are like, "Oh, yeah, I don't touch interiors because I don't like interiors. I don't like doing them."
Yeah.
All right, that's a choice, but do you know how to clean an interior? Well, kind of. I don't really know how to I don't know how to get a stain out.
And I mean,
what kind of detailer are you?
This is also still to the case of it's a business and you can run your business any way that you like. If that's your preference, just understand you're also severely limiting your customer
Call yourself
base
an exterior specialist or something, but you better know how to rinse wash a car. Point is, I'm just saying, for the haters that are like, I don't trust it, I don't use it, I don't want to learn it, you got to learn it. Because water is a finite resource, and there are going to be times in your life where it's going to hit, and you can't use water.
You're going to wish you had that skill set.
And if you can learn how to wash a car with less than a gallon of water, holy cow.
And
that's an awesome feature. Because for me in my shop, Matt and I, we had a winter here in Boise where it froze for 2 whole weeks, and it was sub-zero. And the water coming into our building frozen. Yeah. City water was frozen for 2 days. I would have had to completely just stop working, but I had cars scheduled. I had cars to do. I had to stay open. It's the middle of winter. Those of you that detail in northern states and in the winter, you don't get a lot of cars. So to have to go like, "Oh, sorry, our water got shut off. We can't help you until the water's turned back on because the pipes are frozen."
Yeah.
Like, no, you know what we did? We went down to the grocery store and we bought some distilled water, and we poured them into buckets and into our sprayers, and we washed a vehicle and got it as clean as we possibly could. We scrubbed fender wells. We went through probably 50 gallons of Rinseless, but we got all those cars done. We didn't have to slow down. We could still work. We could still get paid on those jobs, and we got those cars out, which helped.
It was literally the difference between your business shutting its doors for multiple days.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not.
Yeah, we were still able to work. And so that's where it's going to get to. And if you recall 2-3 years ago in the UK, hose pipe ban, the middle of that drought, and nearly 5-6 years ago, California, California was under a hose pipe ban as well.
Yeah.
Meaning you couldn't turn on your water at your faucet outside. You couldn't have water on your driveway. You couldn't be watering your grass. You couldn't do any of that. But you know what you could do? Pull your car into your garage and do a rinseless wash.
And I promise you, whatever you've heard, whatever you think right now, you get yourself a legit, good quality rinseless wash. At least, as far as we're saying, something we'd recommend, we'd be comfortable recommending to you. If we carry it, it's because we recommend it.
Off right now.
If you were to get your hands on one of those, whether you're forced to by some decree or law or whatever in your area or not, you can do whatever you were going to do with soap and then some with a rinseless and a little bit of street smarts with pre-rinsing in the areas you need to do with like a product to break some stuff down. If you got an APC, whatever you need to use in the tougher areas, the areas that make guys who hate rinseless go, oh, I would just use soap. Try it and see how much time it saves you. Because in the hands of somebody who understands what they're doing after practice, after a few runs at this, I promise you will be faster and you will get the results you're looking for. It's just a matter of learning to trust yourself and understand that the product is there to help.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving along. We got Howie here. That was a big tangent.
What would your suggestion be to coat a windshield on a diesel pusher motorhome? It's a complete vertical glass, 50-inch high, 8 feet wide. I'm looking to repel rain and make bug cleaning easier. That's a perfect candidate for diamond glass.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that bottle would probably do that whole thing. 2 coats. I would do it. I would get that on there. Do 2 coats of diamond glass. First coat, you make sure you clean it. So diamond glass prep. Make sure you scrub all those bugs off utilizing the Jersey bug scrubber or the clay scrubber because you can get all the bugs off. Then I would clay that front windshield with the other side of the clay scrubber. Then if you have any water spots or anything on the glass, I would either buff that glass or by hand with a microfiber towel, you could put some clarity cream on there and manually install that thing, maybe use some of our applicators, get that glass clean, then wash it, clean it with a glass cleaner and some new towels, then use the glass prep, the diamond glass prep, and 2 coats. 1 coat should automatically almost disappear that first layer. Go back over with a dry rag, wipe off any excess, and then apply your second coat, and then let that thing flash, and then wipe it off. That's it. But yeah, I think you should do that because it makes a huge difference in it. It'll still get bugs, but when you put in a washer fluid, specifically the orange Rain-X, it'll clean the bug. It has a tendency to clean the bugs off the surface. Much
easier to clean off.
Much easier to come off. So huge way to make that work.
And I'm envisioning, like, as far as like user experience, the one thing I've heard about that one is usually higher speeds tend to work better. So if you spend a lot of time on the freeway up motorhome, like that definitely
it's gonna be fine.
will.
Yeah, it has a slower speed brake.
Yeah,
or a higher speed brake, I should say.
Higher, yeah.
Because it was developed for moving along the autostrada.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant for areas where it's already you're cruising, but on the highway, it's not a problem. You're going
even
fast
slow speed, it beads really well on your glass, and so I'm okay with it. Just you being small beads, but when I'm on the freeway, it is just gone. Most
importantly, apart from those things, the trade-off that's a huge benefit is the frost protection you get from
that's a big one.
Which is something a lot of people don't think about. But if you live in northern states,
or you wake up in those campgrounds,
totally, absolutely, you get some like dew and then it freezes because it gets cold enough. That kind of thing totally happens all the time.
And you could put it, you could buy a couple bottles, and you could do all the glass on the motorhome.
Yeah,
if you wanted to help keep it a lot cleaner. and just look a lot better. So,
So that's a big one.
do it.
All right, we got Joey here. Bam.
Shout out to those of us who love working alone. There you go, Joey.
Oh man, did I skip a page? It looks like all of a sudden we got a huge wave of folks coming through here.
I like it when we go off on a tangent.
What's up, guys? I know we they're good tangents, so it's good quality stuff. This
David,
is what we do
what's
it
up?
for. Almost made me skip one. Exodus.
Just got here. Is this the detailing version of Between Two Ferns? Pretty much.
Yeah, but we got 4 of them.
Yep, we do.
And then T-Bone just says yes.
Yes, T-Bone Todd. Rick Smith, how about a couch creeper cam? I'm sure TRC has some undercarriage detailing products Anthony could demo. I know, that's what we need.
Yeah.
We kept saying we'll have to get maybe next week.
We'll have to adapt a setup. Maybe get one of the Z-cams over there.
Yeah.
All right. On from wherever I was there. Holy cow. It just really flew off. Okay, so we are at page 7. Sorry, guys. It works backwards. All right. So that's... Oh, gosh. It moved again. People yelling at each other.
Good stuff.
Go. I know. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go.
It's also about how not to get into a deep hole and keep your health good and know there's always someone to talk to who has been there, part of the health and wellness group. So, yeah, someone you can reach out to. So
very important. And
then Rick, JB, you have a good point. Joey. Glossy Bear, what can you use to help remove cement from paint? Muriatic acid, and it is not fun.
No, that's a mess there.
It's not fun. It's just...
What protective gear should go into somebody trying to attempt to use muriatic acid?
Gloves, goggles, mask.
The full gamut of
and
PPE.
Don't do it on your driveway, dude. It'll burn your driveway because it eats cement.
It's the whole point.
Yeah, so good luck.
Best of luck and take care. Stay safe.
Vincent Alessio, also I have some paint from a freshly painted street on my car. How can I remove it without removing my coating? Is it striping paint? Because if it's striping paint, you're going to use petroleum jelly. You load that stuff up on those pieces. So get some on each of those little pieces. You're going to leave them overnight. Then you're going to come out with a plastic scraper, and you're going to try and chip away at that road paint. That road paint is designed to stick to the asphalt.
Yeah.
Now, if it is paint from a freshly painted street, like asphalt, like seal coat, if it's a black seal coat, Ulex will work great. Teal totally work great. Orange Power, Shara, any of those will work. But road paint, specifically the white or yellow striping paint,
all the yellow stuff,
you have to use petroleum jelly. And you literally just get some Vaseline and an old school jar of Vaseline, and you literally dab it onto all those pieces on the paint. And then the longer it sits, the better.
Now, at that point, are you carefully scraping, or are you just going?
You're just putting it on, and you're letting it sit until 24 hours or 12 hours or whatever is passed. Sometimes if it's fresh, you can get it a lot quicker. So I'd come back in an hour and just do a test spot. Fair. If it doesn't budge, wait, reapply, and wait another hour or two, hit another spot, see if it comes off. But realistically, 8 hours will get just about anything off.
Yeah.
You chip it off with a plastic scraper or a plastic razor, like we have the KCX scraper. Then once you have it off, lacquer thinner works great to remove the rest of it.
There it is.
But you got to chip it. You got to get that thing, you got to knock the head off of it so it opens it up, and then it can start dissolving from the inside.
Yeah, you're not going to do much damage.
It's not going to hurt the coating, but because of the coating, it might be a lot easier to remove.
That's also true. So, if your car's protected in some way, PPF
and the petroleum jelly is not going to hurt the coating at all.
Yeah.
So what you're going to have is probably some scratch marks from scraping to try and break the heads off of those things. But hopefully it comes off very simply and easy. So
even a good sealant would provide a good barrier at least for you to be able to clean off easier, which is the whole reason we do this stuff.
Yep.
All right. So finally, no rain this weekend. It's washing time.
Nice. Yeah, enjoy it, Mike. Anna put the live on and then walked away. What did I miss? Nothing, Anna. We're just hanging out, talking, enjoying ourselves.
That's the point.
You have to go back and watch.
Hanging out in the living room.
Yeah.
All right.
Carson Black, will there be a video on the KCX hydrofoam? Yes, there will be.
There already is one, technically. If you go back and you watch TRSEMA,
you can watch the TRSEMA one again.
It's a good watch.
It's a good product. Really good product. I love it.
Very good.
Glossy Bear in focus. Ivan mentioned you could make a thicker sugar water paste and put it on cement, and that will break it down. Yeah, that works too. Petroleum jelly's so cheap and easy to have.
I like petroleum jelly idea because petroleum jelly will actually stick to the area you apply it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about dripping everywhere
Yeah.
and like making a mess.
Yeah.
Sugar water, I don't
He's
doubt
not
that
wrong.
it works. It's just it might be a lot messier.
Yeah, it doesn't stick as well.
Sure.
So, but
it's
yeah.
got hang time. It's got cling.
Yeah, petroleum
the
jelly is
case of
also
Vaseline.
everybody usually has petroleum jelly sometimes,
sitting around
or
the house.
you run to the store and it's $1 to buy a box or a jug and come back.
Recently at Costco, they in their very Costco way, they had
A 5-gallon bucket?
like 2 gigantic tubs of Vaseline. It's like $7 or something, and it's just these massive tubs.
Nice.
2 of them.
Nice.
It's like, all right, okay. Guess you will get this and never need to buy another.
Yeah.
RAF, Royal Air Force.
I have a powder coated black roll and lock tonneau cover that has raised slightly. What would be the best conditioner or protectant that would last the longest and offer the best protection?
It says faded, not rated.
Oh,
in his
rated.
follow-up, so there
Yeah,
you go.
faded slightly, roll and lock tonneau cover. Solution finish if it's the plastic. If it's leather, I would probably put any other type of conditioner or vinyl. Put that on there, and then I would probably look at. It's kind of a hard one, but I would probably have to, because you want to get rid of the fading. So if it's plastic, I'd use solution finish. If it's vinyl, I would probably still use solution finish, just to rehydrate and dye that area black. Apply a lot until it's sitting on the top of the surface, and let it just absorb as much as it can, and then remove it. Let it sit for an hour or two, and then come back with a dry rag, remove it all, and then from there I'd probably just use over the top.
Nice.
That's what I did on my Velcro tonneau cover that I had on my red truck. I used to use that.
That tonneau
on some
cover
spots.
looked real nice by the time you're done with it.
It was a great tonneau cover. It did a great job. And
Yeah.
it got a lot of tree sap and stuff on it from my tree, but I cleaned all that off with just alcohol. And
Well,
then,
the trees here weren't kind to it either.
No, but
yeah.
yeah.
All right, Glossy Bear.
Lathering some Polestar as I glance over, and the UPS man is coming in hot with my TRC Memorial Day order.
Yeah.
Namaste. There you go, buddy. Enjoy it.
That's service.
And then Keith G, kind of 2 questions. Is it necessary to polish after a clay towel decontamination? Not necessarily. If you push hard, yes, you will mar your surface. If you don't push hard and you just glide, like our friend Ivan LaCroix says,
Yes.
it won't scratch it. You can go right into wax, or if you intend on polishing, should I skip using a drying aid? Yeah, just dry it and polish it.
A good clay lube goes a long way.
Yep. Yeah, and then a good clay lube, man.
I mean, that's there to prevent the whoopsie with the clay.
Like
products.
I clayed my wife's car this last weekend. I washed it and clayed it because I haven't done it in a year, and it needed it.
Yeah.
And I pushed hard on a couple spots because
Now,
I
were
needed.
you using scrubbers?
I was using a clay towel.
Yeah. Okay.
I just dunked it I had soap on the car and I dunked it in soap as my lubricant. I marred it,
Okay.
but I was pressing pretty hard in spots.
Once again, it is possible to end up with marring, but you have to really be trying.
I
for
was
that to happen.
I was trying.
And-
I was trying to get the stuff off
Right.
that was stuck to it, and it's a white car. So when I'm done, you don't see it. You can't tell.
Sure, on a white car.
But when the sun hits it just right in certain spots, you can see all the Mars I put in it. But the car needs to be repolished. The car was never coated.
Yeah.
So it's just been polished and had different sealants on it for the last year.
Okay.
So it's 18 months now, but it needed it. It was starting to get a lot of particulates in the white that were
Well, where you
brown
live,
and
you
red.
have a lot of trees to
Yeah.
contend with and stuff, so I
But
can
it
totally
sits in a
understand
garage.
why.
It sits in a garage, but it drives a lot more now than it used to. So
I just mean it's like it's in the air where you
yeah,
are.
no,
So,
it is, and there's a lot of pollen in the air right now too. So that stuff sits on there.
for sure. But yeah, no, just so like people who are new to this who don't understand when it comes to clay products, there's differing levels of strength or severity to the different kinds of clay. Oftentimes you'll see like a mild out there if we're talking bars, but they do make stronger versions that are more aggressive. Now when it comes to the towels or the scrubbers, those kinds of like sponge looking ones that have the material on one side with the clay, which are really popular here at TRC. Those ones are really excellent, but they tend to be less aggressive than like a straight up bar will be, just as a general rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Dane, I think it's time for a break.
Man, already. Time's flown by today.
It's gone by.
Yeah.
How many pages do we have?
I've still got 7 pages.
Okay, we've got a lot to get through. This is going to be great.
Yeah, we're going to be cruising. But guys, thank you so much for making this whole new setup
First hour
feel
done.
homey and good, and it breezed right by. This is great.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
We'll
Go
be
get a
right
drink.
back. Right. Well,
welcome
that's
back.
Funny, Levi.
Q&A Thursday, second half.
You look a little different, Levi.
I tagged him out. I jumped in. I stole a spot.
Okay.
For a few minutes.
Not that long.
As long as I can last here. I can sit in this chair.
Okay.
Which is comfortable. The new studio looks amazing.
Yeah,
Dane,
what's your rating out of 10? How do you like it? It needs some decor. I get that. That's gonna happen still.
Yeah.
But ignoring that.
okay, it's got good bones, right?
Good bones.
It's got good bones. I like the overall structure of it. The getting in and out of here, a little more complex than
people
it used
can't
to
see
be before. People can't see that, but it needs a little soul, right? So I think obviously some movie posters. I think maybe some comic book strips that we'll kind of cut out and we'll throw on the walls crudely.
Make it look like a Gen X teenager's bedroom.
Ideally, yes. And we're going to steal Sebastian's Madam Web movie poster and put that up as well, since that's, in one of the best Marvel movies of all time.
My parents were in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
No, it didn't. So quick update, everybody. I am alive. I can't say I'm particularly well, but this has been the stupidest thing I've ever dealt with in my entire life physically. This started as a like a mild pinch in my glute, in my butt, right? Thought it was like, it's okay, this will probably resolve with time, right? And then find out eventually it's a herniated disc, and then it has just gotten progressively worse over time. And this is the stupidest part, Dane, because I told you guys this, but Sunday, right? So for what it's worth, I haven't been able to do a whole lot, right? As far as detailing goes, right? I've been able to do some stuff. We've been doing product testing here and whatnot in the studio, and I've been able to kind of hobble around and do that, right? With this sciatic pain, right? That I'm having, and I'm making my way, right? I lay on the couch for like 20 minutes, and then I know I got like a good 10 of like being on my feet, and then it's like right back to the couch.
Sure.
So we've been doing product testing and all sorts of stuff, but at home, right? All I want to do is wash my cars. All I want to do is detail. All I want to do is that kind of stuff. But I haven't really been able to. Can't really move around that well. But I have been able to walk around my garage and like tinker and like organize tools. Well, I was at Home Depot on Sunday and hobbling through with my daughter to get some fertilizer. I see one of those Husky toolbox toppers, right? Like the one it's like the topper that goes on top of the rolling cart.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I see that and I go, oh man, that'll give me something to do, right? I get something like that, and now I can organize my tools and a project, right? Like a realistic project. So I end up picking it up, not literally, but I somebody else picked it up. I slid it into the car, got it home. I said, heck yeah, dude! I can't believe I made it this far. Unboxed the stupid thing. I go to pick it up. And I pick it up successfully. I set it on the shelf successfully. Dane.
You shouldn't be doing this.
Shouldn't be doing any of this.
You should not be doing that.
Thing weighed like 70 pounds, right?
Oh my God.
And because I'm an absolute psychopath, and because my OCD is just so bad with this kind of stuff, the mat that like the toolbox topper was on top of, like the little rubber mat thing, right? The little like separator was like squished. And I go, oh, I got to pick this back up to get rid of the squishy looking, I didn't think it looked good. So I picked it up, felt my back, do that thing where you go, oh no, oh no. What have I done? I did that, set it down, and I almost started crying because I literally was like, crap, did I just ruin myself even further? long story short, I have made it worse, but not like I'm crawling around. Knock on wood. But I have made it. She's a sheetrock. Dang it! No, whatever. What is this? It's not even real wood. I don't
It's
even know
shiplap. It is real wood.
Are you sure, Dane?
It is.
Okay. Anyway, so I have made it worse by my own devices. I have learned the hard way. The recovery is still long. I don't know. I'm just kind of going with the flow. But that's kind of where I've been. And the big part about sitting here and doing this is ultimately like standing. I can stand for like 5, maybe 10 minutes tops. Sitting, same thing. 5-10 minutes tops because I'm still putting pressure on that nerve.
Right.
So the only way to relieve it is by laying completely flat on my back, right? That's the only way to do it. And I asked if we could have like a top-down cam so I could lay here on the floor.
That would be an incredibly awkward show.
He said it wasn't an option.
I mean,
what the heck?
technically, it's possible. It's just that it'd be really weird.
It's like I'm still part of the team, but I'm the dude over on the couch who I'm like, when I'm talking to Dane, I go, Dane, come hither, my son. Let me see your face while I talk to you about work-related things. And that's literally how it's been, but I've still been able to drive my truck. I haven't been able to drive my cars because it's my clutch leg. Regardless, I don't think I can drive my cars anyways. So it's been a weird month and a half, almost 2 months.
Holy cow.
And by weird, I mean it's been crappy. Oh, we can do it top down.
Yeah.
Is this you know what this is? This is the balding spot shot, right?
The bald spot shot. That's how we're
Fortunately,
pointing it now.
I guess the good news from this whole thing is I still have most of my hair, right? The stress hasn't caused that to fall out, but soon enough, maybe Levi, right? What age do you think I'll be? 40? Do you think I'll make it to 38?
I think you'll make it to 45.
Okay, let's get a question or two in here. Let's see if we can knock something out.
All right, I got Mike Reyes here. Okay. We're on page 8. So we have an hour of comments to catch up on.
No, you're good. Okay. Hey, fellas, any reason why I'm getting water spots on interior trim with PNS interior? I diluted 1-to-1. I'm not using distilled water. Is that why? I'm assuming you're using Express, right? If you're using that. Possibly, the water spots could also have been there, right? Maybe you're cleaning it and that's being left behind, but
it's just revealing it.
That's kind of what I'm getting to. Is like realistically, by the time you're spraying something and wiping, there's a very low chance that you're going to be getting any spotting. So chances are you could be revealing something. Maybe that came from the outside. Maybe you had the window down. Something had gotten in next to a sprinkler. Maybe there was something that like landed on the surface that left behind those spots. But very, very low chance with that product.
Sure.
Yeah. Very low chance. Next question.
All right. Next up. Of course, it's first from Puerto Rico. We got Umberto in the house.
Umberto says, Ivan LaCroix taught to use sugar paste. I remember my uncle doing that in the 70s, throughout the 90s, when he worked part-time at a paint shop.
Now, you missed that question, but that was actually one that they were... did you watch from outside?
Dane, I'm on the couch, of course, watching a Q&A.
Okay.
I'm one of the 90 people who are watching this. Thank you very much, guys. So we really appreciate all the people in the audience.
Of course. And we recommended Vaseline. That was Levi's input, and I think that's probably a good way to go, because then it's not falling off.
Vaseline just seems like a safer bet to me, personally, yeah.
And it's readily accessible all over the place.
Yeah.
You can find it anywhere.
Agreed.
Granted, the other's pretty easy to find, too.
Agreed.
Let's move on to Sheldon here. Good to see you guys again. I'm sure I've been missing the live streams. I'm curious why the shelf life of coatings are only about a year, even if they haven't cracked open. Why is this, or what goes bad?
I think that's it's a generalized time frame.
It's kind of
that
a safe
it's
number people put out there.
Well, because you just don't know the environment which the coating is going to be stored in, right? So as a manufacturer, you have to think about what's a good timeline to give people to say, hey, you should probably use this within this timeline. So here's an example, right? So I had a case of Opticoat Pro Plus, right? Credible coating. I had it for maybe 8 months, 9 months, right? And I didn't touch it, didn't use it because I had planned to put it on something, didn't get a chance to get around to it. Then one day I said, let me crack open the box. I want to make sure that my coating is still good, right? And I crack it open. My Opticoat Pro was perfect, right?
Okay.
My Plus had actually gelatized, or had turned into a gel, right?
Yeah.
And in what that is I mean probably air, oxygen got into
it's the oxygen
got into it, which understandable. But if you have an airtight sealed bottle, it's stored in a dry, cool, and out of UV, out of light, right? Look at the coating. I mean, if it started to flake, that means, you know, possibly there's been some type of chemical interaction. There's been something with air that has somehow seeped into the bottle.
Sometimes it's like sunlight coming in through a window and hitting it directly.
Yeah.
Like there have been perfect storms where people put it on a shelf where it just zinged it.
if it is clear, if it's clear, you're in the clear. I mean, if it's clear and there's no issues with it, you can absolutely use it. I mean, hell, for what it's worth, people kind of freak out about, you know, seeing a little bit of oxygen mixed up in the coating and seeing sometimes you'll have some flakes floating around. This happens in like CSL. This happens in inspiration. Happens in certain things. Yes, you ideally don't want to be pouring out shards, right? I mean, and there's certain coatings that you'll crack open and use, and you'll put the seal back on, and you should electrical tape every single time you are storing a coating long term. Always electrical tape it if you can.
But like somebody who's new to this stuff would never know that.
No, so what will happen, right, is you'll store a coating after you've cracked it open, you didn't electrical tape it, and yes, air has gotten into it. And what happens is next time you go to take off that cap, right, you have literal shards of glass coming off and landing onto your applicator.
It's like a creme brulee. It turns crystalline up top.
Don't put that on your paint by any means. But if you're looking in the coating and you're seeing just a few little flakes floating around, I have used plenty of coatings that have had some like floaters in them.
Sure.
Never had an issue. Now, with that said, I have had an issue where my screw-on piece has actually crystallized and has left shards, right? Because now I'm essentially taking, you know, knives to my paint, right? Which I don't want to do either. But yeah, electrical tape for long-term storage if you're going to be doing it like that. But shelf life, it's easier to say about a year and hope people are going to use it in about a year. I mean, really, if you're buying a coating, you're buying a coating with your intention to use it. You're not buying a coating for an intention to not use it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if a job gets canceled and you have an extra coating lying around, that's one thing, right? But if you're just buying a coating just because you just want to have it and eventually use it, I mean, do it within a year. Mm-hmm. I mean...
Seems like a
unless you're like
point.
me, unless your legs decide to stop working and you're in constant pain, then yes, that's a good reason to maybe
Back
not do it.
Broken.
But yeah, you're spinal. Yeah, you Mike Tyson it, then yeah, then I can totally see that. But no, one more question, Dane, and then I'm out of here because I'm stiffening up.
Aaron Bauer here. Go ahead and read it.
Says Jace Price from the last detail looks like he's back into full-time detailing. Will there be more content with TLE products? I would imagine so. So Jace is awesome, but he's I believe I can say this, but he's out of the military now, right? Thank you for your service, Jace. He's done an amazing job, but I think he's done with the military. So, which now opens up opportunity for him to obviously go full time with the brand, which means a lot of different things, right? You know, maybe that's him coming out to TRC next year, and that's maybe him, cool. Expanding the line, expanding more into the compound polished game, doing what he wants to do. But I mean, he's made amazing products. I mean, he's continued to make amazing products, even with him being away from home. I mean, even overseas. Yeah. I mean, his wife was doing an amazing job running things, but he had still continually tested stuff for years while he was in the military. And so I'm really looking forward to what he's able to do here now that he has full-time, hands on it, because let's be honest, Last Cut's probably one of the best compounds on the market today.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, it's stood up to the test of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Easily.
Okay, Dane, I'm out of here.
All right.
Things are going numb. Things are tingling. So, but thank you guys. It's been fun. I will try to be, maybe next week. Maybe next week I'm having a better week.
There are 4 chairs here.
It's Dane.
I'm sitting in the chair you would normally be sitting in. We all agreed this would be your chair.
Yeah. No, it's a day-by-day situation. There's been some okayer days, and there's been some bad days. Today's kind of like a right in the middle, but I'm making it do. So, all right. Mr. Levi Gates is back here to join us for the next 40 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that.
We got to hustle, Dane. We got to get a lot
of man. We got a lot of comments to get to.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll see you next time. Hopped up on painkillers.
No, Dane. You can't say that.
Just absolutely hopped up.
There we go.
No, it was just a little bounce in the feed there. Yeah. No, I just did that to see his reaction at the end.
That's great.
All
Kevin. Right. Let's burn through some of these. Yeah, we got Kevin D with a what up, guys? It's been a while. What's up, Kevin D? Good to see you, man.
Yep.
All right. We got Mike Zupanoop. Love the doorbusters yesterday. Great deals. Thank you, Mike, for bumping in and jumping, getting those
Thank
knocked
you.
out. Super Auto saying, last from Georgia in the hizzy. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey.
Always a pleasure. Going to be taking the trailer out next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Keith C. Ouch, you just skipped over my question, fellas.
Keith,
Lol.
I'm
Keith,
pretty
I'm pretty
sure
sure
I
we
asked
said
it.
it.
I definitely
There's
remember
been a
seeing
few
your
of them
name
from Keith.
And we asked it. I'm really appreciating you asking questions, obviously, but if I skipped you, my apologies. I really thought I'm hitting you here, but if I'm not, just go ahead and repeat it.
Hey, Mountain Town, conservative is the key word. If you run it through a car wash every week, it's still going to be there for a year. If you take care of it, it will definitely last longer than 2 years. It's all in the wording. That's right. And that is in response to the KCX coding question. And again, that's kind of our, I'm trying to figure out which camera there I'm at. So that way we can, like we said, it'll be there. It's a good coding.
All right. So next up on the docket here, a lot of people agreeing with Mountain Town there. And I got Brian.
Will drying towels in the sun on a hot day, 80 to 90, damage them? No,
you should be fine. 140 degrees Fahrenheit is kind of agreed upon as
and that's
the
when
area
they start to melt. And we're talking microfiber being fingers. They go like this.
Yeah, the damage.
That's what it means when they melt.
When the damage happens, it happens at basically a microscopic level. You're not going to see it at first, but if you were to go and try and use a towel that has for sure been melted or fused is probably a better way to look at it.
You'll notice
the little fingers get fused. You will notice a difference in the performance in the towel. It's going to be more streaky,
100%.
that kind of stuff.
And if you guys ever want to learn, all you got to do is sacrifice a towel to the dryer.
Oh yeah. Yep, you can do it.
You can crank that heat up and run it and see what happens. You can throw a dryer sheet in
nice
there.
Towel if you can help it.
You can try it out. You can throw it in with other cotton. You can see what happens. Like, it will mess up a towel pretty quick. So,
yeah.
All right.
Next up, Fazal.
Fazal, what's up,
Welcome
man?
back.
Saying, what's up, TRC crew? Looks like the new studio. Looks very cozy and homey. Thank you, Fazal.
That's what I was aiming for. Thanks. DS.
DS, I like honesty and a coating longevity. Ivan is selling a coating that is rated to last until the sun goes supernova. There you go.
I mean, that's a long time.
What they're doing now. Brian, very nice studio, guys. Thank you for improving our experience.
At the end of the day, we're doing it for you guys because without you guys here, we don't have a show.
Yeah.
So thank you. Bill Pearson here.
Howdy, fellas, from May Gray, SoCal, Deep
All right.
South. What's
well,
up?
Happy to have you here, Bill.
Good to see you, Bill. And the Mountain Town, I do like the new podcast studio. It's very intimate.
I think when you get a chance to
man.
stop here in
Yeah.
person next time,
You're gonna like it,
gonna
Justin.
like it.
You're gonna like it.
We'll have you on as a guest sometime. How's that? All right. I get Dino here.
What made you guys switch to the new format of the podcast? It was just time.
It was me having like a bug up my butt about wanting to change things up, and it definitely happened. It took a while, though. You notice it took over a month before we were able to bring it back. So I'm just glad that you guys get to see it now. All right.
Joey Belinsky says, people like to call me a large, deep Southern gentleman.
You're very tall.
He's a tall drink of water is what that boy is.
Tall drink of water is probably the most apt description.
Yep. Woo Jay, how's it going, fellas? Been a while. How's everybody doing? Good to see you, man.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome
you for tuning
back.
in.
Glad to have you here. New friend Air here.
Air saying, there's the lads. What's up, man?
Yep. And
Then Brett G, thanks, gents. Didn't see Ragtop on the TSC store and had to check first. Yeah, like I said, we haven't had a lot of products from them. We kind of ran out of stock, and we just haven't reordered because of it was not a popular seller.
Not a fast
but it's a
mover.
great product. Great product.
yeah, quality does not determine sales volume.
Yeah. Kevin Miser, the USS is amazing. I have now made my old UBS my rinseless wheel sponge, which it does perfectly.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah,
USS
that's great.
is a wicked little sponge.
And I'm sure you're flying through your washes with that.
And Alex Town saying, Alex Dewar
Town.
saying Mountain Town details in the house. Alex Town Dewar.
Alex Town. Where are we going?
Dino, does anyone know if I can use KCX RS as a water spot remover at a higher dilution? Not really. You can try it, Dino. It is a pH of 1, but it's not really a mineral spot remover, but it is a mineral dissolver. So it will remove some minerals off the surface. As to how much that are on there is to be anybody's guess.
Fair. Now, I've got Sapper and a Shelby.
I always love the things you do every Memorial Day. I'll be picking up some stickers to go with the others I've saved. Thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. It's Aeropuerto.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, and Samuels, love your new format and wishing Anthony a speedy recovery. Dr. Detail, Owen from Atlanta.
This could be a fancy doctor's waiting room.
This could be. Yeah, this could be Dr. Samuel's waiting room.
Yeah, so if you find yourself over here, feel free to become a guest as well.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, thank you for helping Anthony
Joey,
out too.
Levi, I used your favorite Milwaukee polisher for the first time last weekend. Oh, boy.
Ooh, how'd that go? Owen here.
Question, RE soft top detailing. Any suggestions getting those horizontal lines on the creases on the soft top? You mean getting the dirt out?
I imagine that's what
if it's getting the dirt out, the rag top cleaner works really well, and the Color Lock brush, stiff bristle brush, great combo. Now, if they're baked in, it's a little harder. On some of the vinyl tops, I've been able to use, on the vinyl rag tops, I've been able to use lacquer thinner to pull some of that out. But again, you got to be careful.
For those keeping tabs at home, Levi has now mentioned lacquer thinner twice on this program.
There you go.
In other words, you should probably have it in your garage, just as a handy extra.
Yep. Man, oh man, I used Kosh micro cut today and the DeWalt DA on the AMG. Wow. I'm in love, and it's not a woman. There you go. Nice, man. Microcut's a good product.
Good product.
David, Levi, what's your compound of choice for removing multiple scratches on my rear taillights? Are also sanding before you compound? On taillights, no. I'll just use blue Rupes wool and either some last cut or just the blue Rupes compound. Come right out.
Yeah.
And then just hit it with a polish and good. Joey Belinsky, get that man an iPad. He'll be much more productive with a bigger screen while kicking back on the couch. I know, right?
We have quite a few iPads around here. I'm holding one right now as a way to pop the comments up there. Call support tomorrow, says Hans. All right, good.
Do, Hans, do.
Yes.
Talk to Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron's the guy. All right. Next up. Anna, sending healing vibes for Anthony. Back injuries aren't fun. Totally agree.
Thank you, Anna. Appreciate that. I know he will.
Yeah. And Hans, and if you're in Europe, better get your TRC stuff now. I will be there on Monday, and stuff might be gone after I leave. It's true. Go. Hans will clean them out.
And then, and Joey, are you trying to turn Anthony into an iPad kid? Yeah, I think so.
I mean, he's a kid at heart, so that could be the case.
And then Umberto, I hope Anthony wasn't doing exercise with Matt Mormon like Pan did last year. I hope it's not the pain he's having on in his back now.
Unrelated.
That. Yeah.
Totally different.
And no, he was hurt before he visited Matt.
Not fun. Although it wasn't affecting him nearly as much back then.
No.
It was like a very minor thing at the time. Yeah. Then it became like a sciatic thing, and then it was a whole other animal.
Upgrade. Can you share what your go-to is for cleaning wheels? What products do you prefer to use, and what are the steps? So when I clean wheels, I always rinse them first. And then depending on what I need to do or how they look, I dictate what product I'm going to use. My new favorite has been AWC by Koch. I love it. I think it's great. Especially diluted at like 6-1 or 10-1. It's awesome. But for a go-to wheel cleaner that just works all the time, Magic Wheel Cleaner is
that stuff's good.
Be-all, end-all, amazing one because it does everything.
Like, it really is like the end-all, be-all when it comes to that.
So, but what I do is I spray everything down. I get it wet first, and then I spray the wheel cleaner on. I spray all four wheels. I let it go. I usually spray whatever I need to for the tires, whether it's a tire cleaner or even AWC works really well on tires. But I'll let it go around, and then I let them just sit. I don't touch wheels. I let them sit and do the work. But I always try to make sure that it's not a polished aluminum wheel or something with an older clear coat that is going to burn. But I let it sit, and then when I'm washing, because at the same time I'm usually spraying some sort of degreaser or something in the fender wells and things. So I'm letting everything dwell while I switch tips or get ready, turn my pressure washer on. And then I'll start washing bugs, and then I'll hit a fender well, and then I'll hit a tire, and then I'll hit a wheel. And I'll knock all the heavy stuff off first.
Yeah.
And that way everything's clean. Then when I'm doing my soap and I'm washing the car, usually what I'll do is I'll foam a car, or I'll spray water or do a rinseless or whatever. If I'm doing a rinseless, then I'm going to do my wheels last. So if there's soap on the car, then I'm going to put soap on the wheels and scrub them with a brush. And that's it. I don't really like getting in the barrels, even on the cars I own. I'm not a barrel brush kind of guy. I don't need my wheels to be that clean because they're just going to get dirtier. All my wheels are coated.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to a car show, maybe people are looking in that deep. But the
like,
average person is not.
Like on my daily drivers, I'm not really
on their hands and knees looking inside the barrel. Did he clean the barrels? You know.
I'm not worried about that. And so I just always clean the faces of the wheels. And I spray as much as I can around. And then only when I do like a winter changeover, that's when I'll do a deep clean and actually clean my barrels. But then when I'm done with that, I just rinse them, call it good, dry them off. I'll usually spray something on them. Right now I've been using Defender a lot as my final wipe stuff. And so I use Defender on the wheels. So
pro tip, if you can, get yourself a nice chair or something, maybe like a Viper chair or something.
I
Because
don't even
otherwise, well, what I'm saying is if you do a lot of wheels, if you make it your habit to do a ton of wheels, you're bent over all the time, you're miserable, you wind up like Anthony. That's not a good thing.
Yeah,
don't let that happen.
The only time I sit down when I'm detailing is when I'm in the interior of the car and I'm sitting on the seat in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's me, who I do my best work sitting down.
That's right.
Like right now.
But even when I'm buffing, I don't usually sit down.
You find a way. Yeah, you're kind of standing, but you're
always
kind of arched over the. Yeah.
Not arched. I'm always usually squatted.
Or squat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, let's keep going, Dave. We got 30 minutes left.
I know we've got
47 pages.
So many comments.
Rags, they most certainly ain't. I believe Jesus was wrapped in a gauntlet. True story was. Josh McKay, woohoo! Q&A Thursday.
Happy to have you here, Josh.
And then Hans, use an FTW for bead maker and buff it off with the Eagle 500. There's the 500 use. Then good evening to you and all folks. Blessings from our thank you.
And to you. All right, we got Spencer Mation here.
So what's your thoughts on C6? Seems pretty legit. Kind of weird that Ivan came out with a lifetime coating. I say that because he's always been cautious about it. From what I know about that brand, it's a decent brand for coatings. It's pretty much the kitchen sink of coatings.
Does it all.
It's got a lot of stuff. But we haven't tried it, so we don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, I reserve judgment until we're able to actually try something. Yep. All right, then we got Air here.
Paint gloss mixed with Absolute is sexy. Yeah, that is a pretty good combo, too.
A good time.
G. Davis, congrats and good luck to Dane on his most recent venture, a sushi bar aerobic studio for horizontally challenged Asian women called Godzilla Plus One. G, it's good to have you back.
Oh, gee, I missed you.
And then Neil White said, G. Davis, wait, I thought it was titled Godzilla.
Come on.
Woo, Jay, I just ordered a brand new set of Koenig hexaforms in gloss black, and I'm planning on coating them before installing them. What's your favorite wheel coating? So, I really like diamond wheels. I know some people think it doesn't, they don't like it or whatever. I love diamond wheels. I think it's probably the best wheel coating on the planet. Next to that would be C5, and then next to that would be the Koenig version of C5.
And I will reiterate.
Koenig makes a version. They have they have their own coating for their wheels that is C5 by G-Technic.
And so, I'm just going to throw out a quick
we put it on in the
here.
TR SEMA.
If people are like, oh, you're just recommending stuff that you guys carry, we carry the stuff because we recommend it. It's the other way around,
that's
actually.
How Dane and I can make our mortgage payments.
So the point here is if we're going to carry something, these guys have vouched for it when it comes to products like that. You really want to be able to trust
who knows that?
Yeah.
But I'm
doing that for new folks who may not be aware.
I really like diamond wheel, mostly because of the high temperature ratings.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think it's a great coating, and it's a strong coating. It doesn't have a lot of crazy hydrophobics like a lot of wheel coatings, but what I love is that it's an easy, clean coating. So it cleans the wheels clean up nice.
You want to battle that brake dust.
If you're looking for hydrophobics, that's when you just start spraying some hydrophobics on there if you need more of it. But what I'm looking for is protection from brake dust, and I don't want stuff sticking on my wheels, and I don't want these things on there. So I want to be able to wash it clean. But what I don't need is just a super beady, dirty wheel.
Right. So you do that coating as your core protection. Then, if you want to throw on a really hydrophobic sealant or something on top, go for it.
Yep.
And you're fine. All right. Next up, Aaron Bauer.
What towels, tools, or techniques do you use to dry the lugs? Can't
Ooh.
seem to get the small pools of water to sit there with a Kirkland microfiber. Blower's not an option. Thanks. Happy Memorial Day, y'all. Short of that, dude, Aaron, you're going to have to get something
Q-tips.
skinny and tiny like a Q-tip or something. I use air.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
air
all.
does.
I use air to get that stuff
90
out if I need it to, and that's it. And I use compressed air in my compressor and spray it that way. But if I didn't have that, I'd use a blower. And there's some cheap blowers that are good blowers out there. I just picked up a Skill. And Skill. What did we find out? Black & Decker, Skill, Flex, and Ego are all owned by Shervon, same company.
Yeah, Shervon are the folks with the battery technology.
Yep. And so all of those companies are utilizing that battery technology from Shervon, who manufactures that. So, yes, people use an Ego blower. If you can't afford one, you don't need to buy an Ego blower. You can buy a Black & Decker, you could buy a Flex, you could buy a Skill. I just picked up the new Skill blower. It's great. It's light, it's easy to use, cheap.
Bam.
It's awesome.
All right. Endorsed by Levi Gates.
Joey saying, "Gee, how we've missed you."
Yeah. And a vote for C5.
Yep, C5 is the bee's knees.
Yep.
All right, Neil, I was ordering some fun from TRC website and noticed that there's a partnership with the Gary Sinise Foundation. Kudos on you all for supporting vets. Thank you, Neil. We're doing it again this year. Last year we did it as well.
I was going to point out we did it last year as well.
Yep. Yeah, we're doing it again. So,
all right.
Hans, Joey Belinsky, you can sit on his lap at Waxstock this year, I heard.
Okay, he's not Santa Claus.
And then G. Davis, Neil White, I'm the Charlie Morton of detail comedy. That's right. Josh McKay, can the off-road towels be used on cars? Yes. Should I just stick with FTW's Eagles? No, Josh, you can totally use those towels on cars too.
Branch out.
It's paint. We just wanted to make a version because people search for SEO.
Yeah.
So they're looking for off-road towels for their Razor, their side-by-side, their Can-Am, any of that kind of stuff, motorcycles, dirt bikes. So we built a pack that we could sell on Amazon when people search for it.
Yeah, it's not anybody trying to pull a fast one, like trying to pretend something is different when it's just the same thing. It's just, people aren't looking for the same thing, and if you don't appeal to that audience, then they're just going to ignore you entirely because they won't know what they're looking for.
Well, just like the PNS off-road line, those towels were developed to match the PNS off-road line. So the colors match the products in the PNS off-road.
And they're towels that are geared towards those environments.
Yep.
So, handpicked if you take that.
EC saying O&R.
Oh, nice. CUEC.
It's all right. Randall, DIY is a hybrid in chemistry, uses polymers and surfactants. O&R is solely polymer-based.
And we got the talk of the surfactants again.
O&R is the GOAT.
And we're going to get into a battle.
Fun, I swear we had Ivan talk about O&R and the surfactants in O&R many times back in the day.
If you look back at our old videos,
to the old videos of him talking about it.
The first product we ever carried at the Rag Company
was
beyond
O&R.
a towel that was a chemical product was Optimum No Rinse. That was the original product.
I'm pretty sure Ivan has said.
Well, if you want to go
More
look
than
back at
anything.
our old videos, I'm sure you can pull something up.
Probably. And EC, the chick let it go. I don't know what that means. Neil White, G. Davis, I guess I'm trying to be the Dave Chappelle of car detailing comedy would get us all canceled on the stream.
And then Joey with a throwback joke of spelling spicy with a C.
Spicy.
It was because somebody had a typo in their comment way back when.
That's great.
And we got EC saying, "Hey everyone, I heard O&R, so I appeared."
Of course. That's how Ivan was back in the day. What if what if EC is the second coming of Ivan LaCroix? All he needs is to grow his goatee, get the round glasses.
I mean, you'd have to ask him.
Eddie LaCologne.
Only he knows for sure. And he came alive.
Yeah,
all right.
That used to happen to Ivan, dude.
You just say a word and it just like smelling salts just snap.
All of a sudden
snap too.
He used to just appear randomly. So God, I hope it's not contagious.
Is it like saying Candyman?
Yeah, it might be contagious. EC, you got to watch out, buddy.
Oh no.
Mike Zupano's next YouTube videos: TRC sucks and AF is better. Lol.
Everybody's got an opinion. G. Davis. Oh, with the hellos. Okay, this is just a bunch of hellos.
O&R is a very Gen X rinseless wash. There goes Grandambassador of the Year. That's funny. As the only Gen Xer in this room.
I was going to say, you're saying Gen X like it's a bad thing, and I don't think Levi would agree with
like
that.
There's shots fired.
It's okay. I'm a millennial. We get lots of hate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys, Anthony and Dane are 10 years younger than me.
Yeah. And then we got a bunch of Zoomers out there who keep on the rest of us young.
Brand, shout out to those who know how to both do rinseless and shampoo washes. That's all that matters, guys.
Yeah.
I just care that you know that you're doing them. That's it. I don't care what rinseless you use.
Pick your poison, but at the same time,
just
at least
do it.
have the skills to use that poison.
Remember, we're all about converting people to rinseless. I don't care what rinseless you use.
No, it's the process that's the real time
we
saver.
all end up with a clean car. At the end of the day.
That's the goal.
So.
All right.
EC agreed. Rinseless wash is a skill everyone should learn.
Totally.
Amen.
They're calling it a mic drop.
Mic drop on learning rinseless washing. That's right. It makes you a better detailer. Bill, can you remind me, is RRW polymer or surfactant based? Thanks. We don't have that information from
to say
Coach
with 100%
Kemi to say
clarity.
that. You can go back and watch their TR SEMA presentation.
I would take their word for it.
Anna, I don't like rinseless washing, but I don't know how. It's my preference not to. There you go.
Oh, she's saying she doesn't like it, but she knows how. So.
Oh, but I know how. It's my
you said I don't know how, but she knows.
Yes.
She knows. So the skill's there in case.
But at least you have it, Anna. What happened? That's the thing. You now have the skill.
Somebody comes in and saes there's a drought, and suddenly you got to change things up. You know what to do in that situation. You can still clean a car effectively.
Yesterday we were talking, me and Anthony and Brodel were talking about how to rinseless wash a car without a rinseless wash available.
Right. So then
and you had this product or this product. Could you get it done?
Like stretching a soap to extreme lengths.
That's literally what we talked about yesterday.
Well, like Pearl kind of situation.
Well, what we said was, what if you had half a bottle? Brodo's like, what if you have half a bottle of paint gloss? What would you do?
Ooh.
And how would you? And you had to rinseless wash.
You can do a lot more with paint gloss than you think, though.
Yeah. And what we said was, I said I'd take a quarter of that bottle, pour it into a couple gallons of water. I would then fill that bottle up the rest of the way with water, and I would use that little 16-ounce bottle, and I would soak my car in it. I would probably get halfway down the bottle and then fill it up again and spray some more on. And then I would rinseless wash with what was in that bucket. And then I would dry the vehicle.
So that's what you come to the Rag Company podcast for, especially Q&A Thursdays. Your Mad Max Apocalypse style car cleaning tips.
100%.
Just in case.
You got to learn.
Never
but
know.
If you only have this much soap available, you're going to create a rinseless wash out of that.
For all our preppers out there, now you know.
We're going to a totally different level, gang.
Oh, I love this.
I like how you talk over each other. How annoying. Thank you, Harley.
So it's fun because we don't actually do it too much. I'm very conscientious of trying not to speak over you, but we don't have prepared statements. This is a live Q&A. Yeah. We jump to the occasion to want to talk to people. It's natural. And that's the result, is you have a natural conversation. Have you ever been with a group of friends where you're all like trying to talk about something? You step on each other's toes a little bit. It's not like everybody just sits perfectly behind and waits for their turn robotically. That's not a conversation. That's something else entirely.
Great topic, Dane.
Yes. Thank you. It has been addressed. Moving on.
Next question.
And it's G. Davis.
When I saw the new opening and saw Dane, I thought for a second it was a TED Talk on creation, hosted by Ricky Gervais.
There's a good episode.
Kirby Thompson, afternoon, just dropping in, and the talk is about my rinseless wash, my first choice method. Thank you, Kirby.
And I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Thank you for sending me I actually ordered that thing that you sent me.
Oh.
I ordered it.
Nice.
It's on its way. And we're gonna use it next week when we go camping.
Okay.
Chris M. I changed my view on rinseless a few years ago when London had a hosepipe ban for 9 months. So my only option was to make it work for me or use a tunnel wash. O&R and now Absolute changed my washing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are times when that happens and you can't use anything else. That was your only option. Learn how to do rinseless or go through a tunnel wash.
So now, Chris, I'm curious if you could tell us in the comments, since you had 9 months to get familiar, get acquainted with rinseless washing and do it, Is it something that you stuck with when things changed and you had the option to use soap again? Or did you just go right back to soap? It's not a wrong answer either way. Just curious, like, if you found that, oh, I actually like this. Because that can happen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got Hans here.
That was a Pepsi burp. That's right,
Yes.
Hans, it was.
Clearing that up. Thank you.
Then Alex saying, nice. What rinseless do you like, Kirby? Mm-hmm. Joey Belinsky took to the streets after the California hosepipe ban.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Look
right.
out for that guy. You can see him from miles away. He's so tall.
And then Joey, I just got a detail keg, and my lord, what a level up on the rinseless game. Yeah, no,
You can go forever with
no
one of those
slouch,
things.
man. Detail kegs or even the IK tint PPF one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're running like a pound of pressure in there, and that thing will still spray a whole car. It's crazy.
Goes for days. All right. Kirby here.
O&R Absolute DIY plus Wolfgang Uber SO2 is what he uses.
Bam. Okay. Good
See?
lineup.
Uses them all depending on what he feels like.
Yeah.
And then Joey Belinsky, G. Davis, gosh darn drought. I think we're semi out of it for the first time in years. Yep.
It's a nice change of pace, I would say.
And then Mary, what's crack-a-lackin', everyone? Just finished my first motorcycle today. What a blast for my OCD. Oh, I bet.
So many intricate little parts to contend with. You think, oh, it's a motorcycle. It's small.
So
it's going to
many
go
detailers.
quickly. Yeah, this will be easy.
So many detailers
And
go,
then
oh
it's-
yeah, I do a car. I'll do Dane's car for $200.
It's-
and then they go, they'll see a motorcycle and they'll go, what's way smaller? I'll do that for $200 too. And everyone goes, man, that was awful. I did that. It took me 8 hours to do that motorcycle. It would have taken me 2 hours to do Dane's car.
I was going to say, they need to
like,
do
it's
before and
so
after
much more
pictures.
intricate.
They need to do before and after pictures, like when a president goes into office versus when they're coming out. It's like looking at all the hair turns gray, falls out, all that stuff. And yeah, no, it's a similar deal when you run into motorcycles or something, especially the ones with like extra, detailed body work and stuff, lots of extra fairings and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah,
All
there's
right.
always
14 minutes
something.
left. Dane, how many pages we got?
We're on page 4 or 5 here.
Okay.
So we're cruising.
Umberto, that's what I mostly do, rinseless. Lots of detailers here on the island after Hurricane Maria struggled while I was operating on weekends, as I always did. That's why you do it, guys.
Yep.
You got to learn these skill sets. And then Dr. Owen, oops, forgot to ask, what's your preference for rinseless or waterless wash? TRC black sponge or towels? And if towels, which ones? So wolf packs are great for rinseless
Yes.
if you want to use a towel. Otherwise, Dr. Owen, I'd say just use the USS. Pick one up. You can pick it up 20% off today. It's like $15, I think. It's cheap.
Yeah.
So pick up a rinseless sponge, try it out. But towels, Wolfpack. That's
Bam.
technically what a Wolfpack was designed for.
Yeah. They really excel at it for good reason.
Then G. Davis, when I think of efficiency associated with rinseless washing, I immediately go to Hans and Luke Berge buying and a controlling interest in the local Native American casino at Concert Hall.
Oh, gee.
And then Gerardo with Guard Auto Detailing. Hello, TRC. I'm looking for a pre-soap specifically designed to remove mud and grease from semi-trucks on tires, wheels, and the back of a truck. Do you have any recommendations?
This sounds
Honestly,
like a job for active or super?
No.
No, too extreme?
You could probably get away with super foam
Okay.
on it.
Well, super foam is
But
pretty hardcore.
pre-soap is what he means.
Oh,
so
before
realistically,
soap. Well.
you're going to be using some sort of degreaser.
Yeah.
Is what you're looking for. So Mud Buster is designed to remove mud. As to grease, I don't know how well it does with grease, but Mud Buster or Forced are really
I
going
know
to be.
Forced would do some work.
And right now, both of them are at a crazy deal. So you could
point.
pick up either one, get a couple gallons of those, get the 5 liter of Forced, and get maybe a gallon of Mud Buster, mix those up and run them. And with Forced, you could either run it straight or 1 to 4. And with Mud Buster, I would probably run the same dilution, either straight or 1 to 4. And those will do a great job. Mud Buster is specifically designed to break down organic material like that. And Forced has a citrus degreaser in it. And so it does a really good job with some of that grease and grime on that. So that would be my call.
Good call.
Kirby, contact Stinger chemical distributor near you for cement removal. Good stuff, I've heard. That's true. Kirby's got a good point. Stinger, based out of Houston, they do have a lot of different products that you can utilize.
So many.
Yeah, I'd give them a call and see. Kevin Meisner, Levi, thoughts on running a detail business, specifically profits of low volume, high average ticket, versus a high volume, low average ticket. Both can work. I did both. When I started my shop, it was a high volume, low average ticket. And so basically my booking was, when it was me and Matt and maybe one other guy, we were doing about, at the time, my cost per ticket was about $130, $140 a car. And I needed about $120 a car to make everything, payroll, bills, overhead, everything. So we were pulling about $20 a car on profit. And when we were doing about 130 cars a month at $20 a car, that was a pretty good little profit.
Yeah.
That we would make. And then we started doing more and more higher ticket items, but we were still a very high volume shop. So our car count never went down, but our average price per car went up.
Because you still had the dealers coming in with their
we still
large
had the dealer
quantities
works,
of vehicles,
yeah.
But you got more individual customers who come in,
which those higher tickets would allow
jobs.
that at the end of the month, my cost per car would be, or my price per car. Mm-hmm. So my cost per car still stuck at about $100 to $140 over the course of 5 years. It would increase based on whether I gave people raises or, we had to pay for this or just whatever bills. But I basically broke down all my finances into, this is what I need to make on every car to pay employees, to pay taxes, to pay power, water, sewer, rent, everything. I had to make it in this price. And my price per car got up to the point when I left to come to the rag company, my price per car was about $350 a car. So on every car we were making about $170 profit, and then doing about 130 cars a month, which was good money. I mean, we were making good money, and that was money that we were able to buy new Rupes tools with. That was money that we were able to, we made a rule where every Friday we were going out to breakfast.
Yeah.
In the shop. That was just going to be the new rule. Friday mornings, we open at 10 and we're going to go to breakfast before then. And so, and the company would pay for it. And we would do that kind of stuff. And so there was a lot of little things, and then just bonuses at the end of the month. I just had extra money to give to my employees. And so it can work. They both can work. The biggest thing is figuring out every single cost that it takes to run a business, and then figuring out how many cars that's going to take. And then it's easy to build a high volume shop based on that, because if you need 125 cars and you start meeting dealerships and you're like, well, I got this dealership will give me 60 cars a month. I had one dealership that encompassed 60 cars a month for us. I had another dealership that gave us 30. I had another dealership that would give us 25. I had another dealership that was good for 10. And that was how I built it. And then I'd pepper in all the retail work in between there. So
yeah.
G. Davis, Anthony refuses to buy those Dane-endorsed Vaseline tubs after his experience with the Costco bagels.
Sir, you need to get that second bag of bagels. We won't let you leave without it. Yeah, absolutely
Joey,
not.
But I only need one jug of gasoline.
Gasoline. Let's see. We are on to page 3, so we still got a cruise here.
7 minutes. Here we go. Darren Lee, seems like I have to keep pumping them up. Figured too much air.
I assume that's attached to another question, but I did not see it, so apologies, Darren.
Alex G, cortisol shots ain't no joke. No, they're not.
True.
Had a lot of them.
Hans?
All that studio needs now is a big old Anthony picture. We've been talking about that. Mm-hmm. Careful speaking of that Gen X. I know, right Frost? And then G. Davis, I read on one of the forums that Anthony was seeing progress with his back issues after seeing a local chiropractor, but they eventually parted ways after Anthony wanted a stale gummy glute massage.
Are they massaging the gummy or is glute? I'm confused.
He meant like the hardness of a stale gummy.
Oh, well, okay. So that's how they measure it's like the Mohs scale for like diamonds or graphite or something. But
100%.
For glutes.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then Neil White, is this all day Anthony or AI Anthony?
Oh, I thought he was going to say Al Anthony. I was like, oh, Al Day Anthony. Well, his middle name is Albert. Yeah. That's a fun thing we can say. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying that out loud here for everybody to hear.
Not at all. Then Justin saying, Anthony, have the surgery. It's so simple and the pain relief is immediate. I had mine in 2009 and haven't had a problem since.
So he's been getting a lot of feedback from people. Get the surgery. Don't get the surgery.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do.
And he doesn't know which route to take because everybody's experience is unique. And people have had positive and negative experiences with both sides of the coin. So, yeah, it's up in the air.
Alex needs a St. Luke's back surgery vlog by Anthony himself. That'd be a good one.
That would be pretty exciting stuff.
Ragnar Rules saying, how's the new studio coming along?
You're looking
As you
at
see,
it.
we're in it. It's almost done.
It needs some decor that, has our personality in it. So that's the next step. All right. We got Alex here.
Anthony's topography would be a sight.
Oh, dear.
And David Boyce, I hate to say it, but Anthony, you probably need to have back surgery to relieve that bulging herniated vertebral disc. I hope I'm not wrong.
Man.
Yeah, I hope not either.
Yeah.
G. Davis, I use the top-down cam. Anthony Dwyer used to film his erotic hockey documentary called Fat Trick.
Oh, my God.
Aaron Bauer, there goes Q&A Thursdays, lol. Now it's the old main show. That's how the second half always has been.
Well,
G. Davis, it's already been released on the Maple Tap and Poutine streaming service. You'll need a VPN.
oh, my gosh.
And
there we go.
Detailing Vibes 2006. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't. Give these guys what they want. Best podcast around for detailing. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Detailing
it.
Vibes. Appreciate it.
The sale for Memorial Day is awesome. $1,345 already spent. Saved almost $400. Thanks,
yeah.
guys. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That was great.
No, I hope you put that to good use. And please share stories if there's anything cool you have come out of that. Like you want to talk about products you used, leave reviews, all that good stuff. We really appreciate the feedback.
Anthony, what do you have on your Civic coated in? Currently, he's running Exo V5, I think, on it. Is all that's or V4 maybe. He was doing a prototype testing for him. I think it was an early prototype of V5.
He had inspiration, actually, like the PNS inspiration on it for a long time, and it made that red look insane.
Yeah,
like,
that's the one thing about inspiration on red. It looks crazy.
It candy shell. Yeah.
Do not look up gelatized on the Urban Dictionary.
I agree.
That was a good word, Anthony.
Don't do that. We're on to page 2.
Darren, hey fellas, I have C5 on my wheels and wanting to know what you recommend to clean and ensure the coating isn't clogged. Every type of wheel cleaner you can think of, man. Seriously, because you can run acid, you can run an alkali. It's really up to you. But yeah, clean them, scrub them. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, C5 is pretty resilient stuff. You're not
Very resilient.
You're not going to kill it too easily.
No.
There we go.
And then what uses would you use for OptiClean from Detailing Vibes 2000? It's a waterless wash.
Yeah.
So realistically,
it's a wash
anything.
in a bottle.
It's a wash in a bottle, whatever you need it for. You can wipe down your interior surfaces. You can clean out cup holders with it. You can clean out your door. You can use it as a standard interior cleaner for your car if you want during the weeks. You can keep some in your car and use it for maybe you get bird droppings or something on it. You can use it during the winter as a pre-soak when you're rinseless washing in your garage. It's a great job for cleaning that stuff and getting all the salt and magnesium chloride and stuff off the surface. So a lot of uses.
Yeah.
It's a good product to have.
It's just generally not one you're going to want to wash a whole car with if you have other options.
Other than like it's a show car.
Yeah.
Like if it's a trailer queen, that's when you use it.
That's fine.
To wash the whole thing. And then Umberto, nice to see Anthony.
Bunch of Anthony
these guys
comments.
are all, this is from 45 minutes ago, Dane.
Get better,
Get
Anthony.
better, Anthony. Feel better, Anthony.
Hot tag team action.
Hot tag team action. That's we do it.
Says Joey.
Jamie and Dewar are going to really find out about hot tag team action.
That's right. Come to the studio here. It's a good time.
Oh, I can tell Anthony is sedated. He's got Vicodin and that muscle relaxer, Flexeril. He hasn't taken anything today.
No, he's running on nothing.
Then what kind of bug was up your butt, Dane? G. Davis wants to know.
Okay. It was mostly just, this place needs to change.
People
so
said that's where the
we
Asian
changed
Beatles
up
went.
the studio.
Yeah, there's a new one controlling.
David.
Paint gloss helped me keep a display car clean and shiny on the quick. Love to see those fingerprints and smudges disappear. Yeah, paint gloss is a very underrated product. It's
very
perfect.
useful product. David Cervantes.
Forgot to mention I got my hands on 3 Dixon flannels now too.
Ooh.
Bit warm to wear them, but I'm so excited. My Snap-on guy has been absolutely hooking me up. Nice.
That's
Congrats,
awesome.
dude.
And Dixon makes bamboo shirts for when it's hot out. So
Yeah, they make
just
the
so you
thinner
know.
ones there. And then Sheldon, I'm curious about Snow on the back of the bottle. It says it's a strong, powerful cleaning soap, but also pH neutral. I'm curious how it cleans. Also, is it comparable to forced bite to frostbite? So Snow is a 8.5, which is still considered pH neutral.
That's on the high end.
It's on the high end of neutral, but it is a product that has a lot of actives in it that do a lot of the cleaning and a lot of surfactants that do a lot of the cleaning. So it is a perfect pre-foam or snow foam in that sense. Frostbite is a higher pH.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about a 9, but it cleans in that same vein. It can be an 8.5, 8 is what Dave was saying. But I would watch the TRCMA piece on it when they talk about what it does.
Yeah.
Because it's similar in the sense that it's got a lot of actives that are designed to clean and detergents that can clean those. The anionics, I think, is what Dave said. Something like that.
pH neutral has a border. Frostbite's just on the other side of it, whereas, you're looking
but
at
it's still
snow
considered
being on the inside edge of the border.
Yeah, but it's still considered fairly
close.
neutral. It's like an 8.7 or something weird. David, lacquer thinner is almost as goated as Rinseless Wash. It is. Oh my gosh, it works so well.
So many things.
So well. G. Davis, the new set reminds me of the ill-fated late night Netherlands talk show closing at night. Then Ryan Rigdon, sorry if I'm confused as to what happened to the Tuesday podcast. Now I notice the Q&As are called podcasts. Thanks, guys. So Q&A Thursday.
They're all podcasts.
They're all technically podcasts, and they're all on the podcast channel. By the way, we're on Spotify now, so you can pick those up there. We're still on iTunes, all that, but we've now changed our hosting service to Spotify. But Q&A Thursdays are still the same.
Mm-hmm. That's a weekly occurrence.
They're being hosted on the podcast channel like they always have been. They are now being released also on the podcast channel on our actual audio podcast, so you can listen to them there. The main show podcast is going to be the format change because of the new setup. Tomorrow, we are recording the first episode of the podcast. It will not be live.
No, you won't see it for probably a couple of weeks.
It will be then edited, produced to look a little fancier, be a little nicer.
It's a whole new animal.
We're going to create a higher-end podcast is what we're doing.
Basically, we had 2 weekly podcasts. Q&A, you guys basically provide us with the ability to create the content by asking questions. But on Tuesdays, that main show, I'll be honest, it was getting a little stale. It was one of those things where we definitely had the stuff we enjoyed about it, but there were times where we come in and we're like, we have no clue what we're going to talk about today, and it just became kind of a ramble fest. Yep. So, as a means of trying to up the quality here, from feedback from everybody, people in the room here, people not in the room here, we definitely put a lot of work into tweaking stuff. And by we, I mean, I took it upon myself to write up an entire new format. You saw my notes. They're like a crazy person, just like so much stuff going into it. But I'm really excited for what I think is going to be a new high bar, high standard thing that will be enjoyable for everybody. Some episodes are going to have a guest, and that's going to be the focus. Others are going to be deep dives into topics, things like I'm really excited to talk about product testing with you guys, and I'll kind of be interviewing you guys about our process. And that's the kind of stuff you can look forward to. But that's going to be the change. So it's no longer going to be a weekly thing. At most, it'll maybe be a bi-weekly, so like every 2 weeks or so.
Bi-monthly.
But right now I have it set up where it's just going to be one a month, and then I hope to expand on that once we have a better sense of how things are rolling. So that's to kind of help you guys out. But rest assured, Q&A Thursdays, they're going to be every Thursday still, unless we're all gone on a trip or something.
Are we done? It's 4:03.
I know.
How many do we have left?
I still got another page of comments, man.
Let's get through these. Ryan Rigdon, we were using lacquer thinner at an exotic dealership I worked at in the 90s. Used it every day. It's because it's the best. Alex G, they are releasing recorded educational detailing content Tuesdays and Thursdays. Podcasts are specifically for questions. That's right.
Bam.
Exodus FX, did you all get any new audio comments on the podcast yet? No, we have not checked yet. We'll have to double check that. Thank you.
We'll wait and see what you guys have to say.
Kevin Monzone, hello guys. Levi, difference between KCX GS and PO for interior cleaning, like leather. Another question, how compares Huel versus KCX alkali wheel cleaner? So, KCX Green Star is a all-purpose cleaner. Can be diluted up to 20 to 30 to 1 for interiors. Polestar is a dedicated interior cleaner. Can be diluted, but is designed to be safer on interiors, where Green Star can be used on exteriors as well. Green Star is a little more rough, or a little more strong than Polestar. Polestar is dedicated. Now, Huel is it's more similar to Magic Wheel Cleaner because it is a cleaner plus an iron remover, where KCX Alkali Wheel Cleaner is a high alkaline wheel cleaner, more comparable to like a diluted Brake Buster.
There you go. All right.
I mean, Brake Buster would need to be a little stronger to compete, but you could dilute AWC to compete with Brake Buster. Make sense? Like that.
All right.
Detail enthusiast, great info. Thanks. You're welcome, man.
Now we're on the final page. This is the
greasy
home
tool
stretch.
cleaner that's not brake cleaner.
So for cleaning greasy tools.
Forced.
There you go.
It's a good one.
G. Davis.
Can you imagine the hot tub parties Eddie's would throw in the LaCroix? Eddie's would throw in the LaCroix Cruiser. I know. Crazy, huh?
Where does the hot tub go in the LaCroix Cruiser?
The whole back half is turned into it.
Holy cow.
They cut the
roof comes off? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So it's an open air
whole
experience.
Back, the LaCroix Cruiser.
Love that.
Includes rubber, plastic, and metal. Tool cleaner. WutangCore.com. I have rust on the bottom of my back bumper, and the paint has been compromised. Should I stop using an iron remover to stop it from expanding quicker?
I mean, how much damage is that really doing versus the actual
you got to remember,
issue?
if it's going to get underneath the paint and it's going to start breaking the paint, that's going to happen every time you get it wet.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm asking, because I'm throwing that out
there.
So
you could clean a lot of that out. The other thing is, the off-road line from PNS, as well as like Brake Buster, all have rust inhibitors.
That's a big one.
So you might start spraying that area with Brake Buster. That way it's the rust inhibitors, it cleans it out, and then you can spray that on there and rinse it off so that it helps prevent, but then try and get it out of there so it dries out so you're not getting it. But I mean, once it's broken and it's through, every time you get it wet, every time they get dew on it, it's just going to keep snapping.
Yeah.
So
now I have to laugh at this next one because Night Rebel 5556 says rinseless washing sells more towels. Now here's the thing. Towels are an option for rinseless washing, but they're not the only option.
We sell more USSs, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can
for
use
rinseless washing than people buying towels for
sponges
rinseless
and
washing.
mitts. And if you already have the sponges and mitts, doesn't change that we're going to recommend rinseless for a lot of things. So the point stands. Rinseless is like the way to go for
I'm
most
even a psychopath,
car
and I only use
situations.
one towel to rinseless wash.
My God.
I'm a psycho, and I'll use the same one. Eddie is trying to take a page out of the Jamie the Cleaner playbook. He's hoping for an EC wash. Yeah. And then John from Clean and Shiny. Hey guys, love the new studio. Enjoying the show. Thanks for brightening up a stressful Thursday. Oh no, John. I hope you're having a good Thursday.
Yeah. We love you, John.
And we miss you, brother. Neil White, assuming Dane is going to see the new Mad Max, Furiosa movie.
I will. Absolutely.
Big Naisu Bob, epic waterless wash could be used as a rinseless. Yep. There's an old PNS video on it introducing the product. Yep, can be.
Yep.
Wu-Tang, if I have rust building up from under the paint and the back bumper, should I stop using iron removers to prevent it from rust? Same question. We already answered.
That one.
Alkaline Trio saying, woo, I just made it before the end of the Q&A. Miss you all. Hope everyone is doing good. And Anthony is on the mend. Using one of your coasters over here on this table.
Thank you
here.
for that.
Chris M., I have generally stuck with Absolute. The foam and soap comes out when doing a deep clean after winter. There you go. Nice, Chris. Alkaline saying, I have XPEL PPF coated in Diamond Body 36 and it's noticeably contaminated. What do you recommend for the decontamination process? Clay and either... for Diamond Body 36, I actually really like reactive soap.
Oh, yeah.
From KCX. I really like that. Especially for Diamond Body 36. For Diamond Body, I would go the opposite, and I do a high alkaline.
Okay.
But that's me. But you could do either one, either side of that spectrum, and clay would be great. David Cervantes, I missed those Q&As where the majority of rinseless wash talk. Brings me back to where I was when I was new here and didn't know what it was. Now it's all I do. Awesome, David.
I mean, he was converted, but he's into it. It's not a thing he has to do. He does it because he wants to.
No, I teach a lot of custom painters how to rinseless wash because they're like, holy crap, I didn't know this explained.
Well, they're excited because now it saves them some time.
Can you explain more about Optimum Gloss Coat? It's the OG coating.
Yeah, so like
one of the best.
If you're familiar with the shorter term coatings,
is a 3-year
user friendly type coatings, like that kind of stuff.
You can put it on, go have a sandwich, come back, take it off. I mean, it's probably the easiest coating you could ever install. It's a carbon-based coating, so it'll last for a really long time. It's rated at about 18 months, but it realistically will last about 3 years, and it's an unsung hero. Still one of the best coatings ever built.
We did several videos back in the day, years ago, where we did lots of gloss coat videos. We have so many products now, we got to go through a lot of different things, but you can definitely see we did some great gloss coat videos back in the day to check out if you're curious about how it works.
David Cervantes, thanks, and have a wonderful Q&A, or thanks for the wonderful. Have a great weekend. Does this mean we'll have a podcast coming this week?
It's okay.
We are recording a podcast tomorrow, but we still have to edit it after that. So there's not a timeline as to when it will release.
There's a lot of other parts into it. I promise it'll be worth it in the end, but it will take a little bit of time. So in the meantime, enjoy these Q&As because they will be a weekly occurrence. All right. Then we got David here.
You guys have a recommendation on getting out ATF out of a shop concrete. Was moving a truck at work and the transcooler let go like 2 quarts of ATF all over the floor. Zepp makes a couple different concrete cleaners you can put on. Short of that, I would pour some Forced or something.
That feels like a waste of a great product, but I get it.
Like seriously, soak the concrete in it and then scrub it, agitate it, scrub it, pressure wash it off. You know, if you can, throw it in a foamer, even just foam Force straight and foam it on, scrub it, rinse it off, foam it, scrub it, rinse it off. It's really all you can do to get it to leach it out of the concrete. Kirby, have a great Memorial Day weekend. You too, Kirby.
You too, man.
Keep it easy and hopefully you get better faster. David, so the main show will no longer be live, correct?
Correct. Q&As will be our live program, and you'll get it every week, but the main shows are going to be much more of a produced thing. Think like YouTube video essay, deep dive kind of cover. It's going to be much more in-depth.
If you guys watch Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, it's going to be more along that
kind of podcast sounds great.
Style in the sense of like opening, intro, commercial, guest.
There will be layers to it.
Yeah.
Several layers, and it's going to look different. It's going to be cool.
Yeah. Sheldon, I'm going to miss the weekly weekend talk show. Basically, it's going to be about that, but we're going to take the boring stuff from me and Dane's weekends or Anthony's weekends, and whoever has an exciting weekend gets to be the story we tell. The beginning.
There'll be a little. There'll be just to make you guys feel better. There will be a little blurb at the beginning and end of every episode where these guys get a couple minutes to riff with me.
If you guys
do the stuff we do,
Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
Yes,
they do that.
After like at most 5 minutes of that, it's into the interview.
But that's what they do in Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend.
And it'll be focused.
Yeah, that's what he does at the beginning of that. Yeah. They tell a funny story or a quip in the beginning.
Anecdotes.
Get everybody laughing and going, and then they start the show.
Yeah. The point is, it's going to be tighter, more focused, and it's going to have the fat trimmed.
Yeah. Basically, if I just say, I was detailing a car this weekend, and Dane goes, I just kind of changed some light bulbs at my house this weekend.
And then Anthony has his story.
Anthony has a story about an animal living in his car.
Which one of those is going to be the thing that gets the attention? Which one's going to get cut?
We're going to have Anthony tell his story. That's what we're going to do. So,
you get it.
All right. Hans, get your questions in, guys. Oh my gosh, Hans.
It's the last couple here.
Shout out to Eddie for reaching 5K subscribers.
Good job,
Congrats.
Buddy. And last but not least, David.
Have a great weekend, and Anthony, hope to see you on the Q&A soon. He should be here next week because I'm off next week.
Yeah.
I'm going to go camping with the kids and wife. And
we'll set up a floor cam if we have to.
Got to be ready.
We'll take one of these pillows, set it on the ground.
Otherwise, it's Dane by himself doing the Q&A.
It's just me in this chair looking at him like, you okay, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, so that rounds out our first Q&A here in the new studio setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time. It felt like it breezed right by.
Perfect, Dane.
We went 10 minutes over time because we had so many questions.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of you who participated, who hopped in there. And obviously, you've already done this if you're a regular. But to those of you who are new, who enjoyed your time here, please take a moment, click that like button, because I really do hope you enjoyed this show. And leave a comment down below on things you'd like to see us talk about in the future, because I am looking for input on the main show. I've got a ton of ideas already, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So please tell me down below in the comments, whatever you guys got idea-wise. It can't hurt to throw it out there because it just may turn into a show. All right. Until next time, you guys, take care. We'll see you in the next one.
See you guys. Have fun.